was just bopping my head to your intro. Stand up, New York Giants fans. Our first preseason game, Baddog, is 4 days away. So we'll be really excited about that. We'll have something to talk about. And Giants football is right around the corner. So it should be it should be a fun stream. Get a lot to talk about tonight.
Yes. And I want to apologize for being late. I said we're just waiting on Chris. Chris texts me and goes, "Can you send the link?" And I didn't get it. And like an idiot, I never actually sent him the link. So you blame me for that. That is my fault, not Chris's. I never sent him the link. As it happens when you get older.
Like I said, man, you've done it. You've sent it before, and I haven't gotten it. So I figured that's what it was. But
dementia.
It is what it is, Baddog. You get a demerit. I get the next 2 shows on my channel.
I get dementia. I don't get a demerit. I get dementia. It happens. Don't get old, people. Don't get old. Jake, thank you for the super chat. He says, "Let's go Rangers. Trying to learn more about the NFL. That's what I come to you guys' channel. I appreciate it very much." And Zuhaib, cheers, my good man. Thank you so much for the generosity. Appreciate you, brother. He says, "Yo, what's good, Chris? Bro, I'll be at New York preseason game with a bunch of homies. My guy, August 28th. I'll be at the New York Giants sideline, south corner, I think, section 131. Swing by, man. Would love to introduce you to a few good buddies. We back."
Yeah, unfortunately, I would love to go to that game. Unfortunately, I'm not going to that game. I plan to go to the Bears game. What was really cool today, Baddog, and I actually retweeted. I went to the Mets game, as you know. Went to the last 2 Mets games.
You guys whooped some
and
ass.
I got noticed by like 7 different people, which was crazy. I'm like, it's at a Mets game. But a couple of guys I had like a half-hour conversation with. It was really cool. They took we took a picture together, and then I retweeted on Twitter. But that was awesome. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to go to the preseason game. But hopefully you go to the Bears game. I'd love to meet you there.
Yeah, the Bears game. Still working on that myself. I actually texted my brother-in-law don't get my texts or what. I was like, "Hey, I want to make sure before I commit to this because it's not like pennies. It's expensive to do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to make sure that that we're good. But we appreciate you guys being here. As always, a Sunday night. That was going to be Monday. Chris was able to get back from watching the Mets absolutely destroy the Braves. My Yankees are in trouble.
How about Jacob deGrom?
Yes.
First start back at Citi Field. He goes first 17 batters, 17 up, 17 down, strikes out 12. And the Mets strike out 19 hitters today, the most strikeouts they've ever had in a single game. They tied their record for a 9-inning game. So Mets are rolling, baby.
They are rolling. They got the same record as the Yankees. And like I said, I know Yankee fans, I saw some Yankee comments in here. There will be a Yankee video tomorrow. Don't have no fear that I will have something to say about the recent struggles with the Yankees. And I listen, opening night, would you guys play Thursday? Was it Thursday? And Pete Alonso hit the homer. And I tweeted, I said, Polar Bear Pete, it is going to be a long series for the Braves. Yeah, I'm surprised the Braves won a game.
Pete has been on another level.
MVP. He and Arenado, or not Arenado, I'm sorry, Goldschmidt. I think
Goldschmidt, but that you're right. That first Yankee series, that's where he really started to turn the corner. He was hitting pitchers' pitches. He was driving it for doubles. He's been great since then. Yes.
Ray, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Cloud Chasers out here. Chris, need you for the season. We'll be here for the season. We're going to be here all season.
My name's not Chris, by the way, Ray Rivera. I haven't watched the video. I see people saying I have to address it. I'm not going to. I'm not going to listen to the video. Haven't talked to Fish Vegas in 2 years. I was on his channel once, so that's a lie. I came on his channel once, about a year ago. It's fabricated bullshit, though. I haven't talked to the guy in forever. But my name's not Chris. I saw the thumbnail. My name's the Antichrist. Right. So you can call me the Antichrist.
Okay. Sway, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. He says, Yanks and Mets both roll. Well, the Yanks aren't rolling. The Yanks are rolling the wrong way. New York baseball is back. No, the Yankees are actually really struggling. The Yankees have lost 20 out of the last 32. And they have not won a game since the trade deadline. So they are really struggling. Like I said, I'll have a video on that tomorrow. But tonight we're talking about the New York Football Giants. Yes, Mr. Guzzo, I did. I shaved today. I know I had the show tonight. I knew you'd be here. I said, I better shave before this. Before Up Tainah Senior says, dog, you need to shave. So I did. I did shave. So I do want to talk about FanFest.
Yeah.
You went to FanFest. I would love to be able to go one of these years. What is that like? Like, tell if people that can't make it there, Tell us what it's like. Like, what do they do? Obviously, they do the practice and they have their training camp and everything. But what do they do like before and after the fan? Because I've never been to one there, and I don't really know if they had Fan Fest here. They kind of had Fan Appreciation when they're up in Albany, but it seems like it's more of a bigger deal down there. So exactly what is that about?
The Fan Fest? I mean, it's a little bit more than a traditional like training camp because it's like an actual like organized more so of an organized scrimmage. It's like an 11-on-11. That's basically what it was. But the best thing about it for me was getting to hang out with all the Giants fans, getting to do the barbecue with Bobby, Justin, got to meet Nick Gates, got to take tons of pictures, talk to so many great subscribers. That's the most fun part for me.
Right.
The scrimmage, like I tweeted, the offense was really sloppy. And I'm not putting it all on Daniel Jones or even most of it on Daniel Jones. The offensive line was pitiful. I know like Daniel Jones got a lot of the heat. He did not look good. I'm not going to lie about that. But the offensive line did him no favors. But it's a practice. I mean, I'm not reading too much into it. For me, it's just fun to go to the stadium, get to hang out with Giants fans. And if you want to be an optimist, you could say the Giants defense looked really good. And I kind of expect, I from the beginning of this offseason, I've expected the offense to be behind the defense. It's much harder to learn a brand new offensive scheme as opposed to a defensive scheme. There's a lot more that goes into it. So I'm not surprised that Wink's defense is ahead of the New York Giants offense for the most part. I will say the second training camp practice that I went to, the offense actually looked better, I thought, and Daniel Jones looked really good. But I know for the majority of the offseason, people have been ragging on the offense. So the defense so far looks ahead. But what I'm really looking forward to is on Thursday, we get to really analyze both sides of the ball because they're not going up against one another, right?
Right.
Another factor is I think it's really hard to analyze this offense when they're constantly going up against Wink's scheme because Wink is constantly blitzing, right? You're not normally going to go up against a defense that blitzes like 70% of the time. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with in the preseason. Again, like we always say when we do these preseason streams, I'm not reading too much into it for the simple reason you're getting a vanilla playbook. The Giants aren't going to show you everything. Their opposition is not going to show you everything. I am excited, though. Dable came out today and said that he is going to play the starters, which I think is very important because you have two brand new schemes on both sides of the ball. So I think that's great. Last year, if you remember, Joe Judge didn't put the starters in until game 3. At least Daniel Jones didn't attempt to pass the first 2 games. So I think that's important to get them out there. Like we said, we want them to have between 4 and 6 quarters of game action throughout the 3 games. I expect about a quarter, and then maybe 2.5 quarters the second game, maybe another 2 quarters the third. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Jones, the offense, Kayvon Thibodeau. We'll see how Evan Neal does. I know people have been getting on him. Again, not going to panic there. I actually expect him to struggle a little bit, maybe the first 3, 4, 5 games, similar to the way that Andrew Thomas did. He's a rookie. But regardless, excited to see all the new pieces of this team.
Yeah, I saw actually, I don't know if it was the video I did today or yesterday when I mentioned I think Dable is going to play these guys. Now I would like this. I'm saying probably maybe a quarter, at least 2 series, game 1, probably a half, maybe even into the third quarter a little bit, and then maybe a series in the last preseason game where as Joe Judge was like, oh, the extension of the preseason, he didn't play anybody. And I'm like, these guys need reps. It's a new system. There's a lot of rookies. You Evan Neal, you want him to get him snaps. And even if it is a vanilla 4-3 base defense, a vanilla base 3-4, you're not going to see a lot of complex schemes and blitzes and all this stuff. It is NFL reps. There are reps in the NFL. It is game speed. It is a real game. You get your football legs. You're working on timing. You need that against a team that's trying to kill you, right? You need it against a team. You need to get hit too. Like you need to get hit. You need that first hit, especially a guy like Saquon Barkley or Daniel Jones or whatever. You need to get hit. Evan Neal needs to feel that guy really trucking him. You know what I mean? Kayvon Thibodeau needs to go against an offensive line that's really trying to drive him into the ground and all this other stuff. So to me, it's very important that these guys get reps and get acclimated to Dable's system, and Daniel Jones can build time with Galladay and Kadarius Toney because they were hurt last year. Daniel Jones was hurt, Kadarius Toney was hurt, Kenny Galladay. They didn't really get a lot of time even when they were on the field or when, in the regular season games. And Wan'Dale Robinson's obviously a rookie, so he's going to have to get acclimated to the size and speed of NFL defensive backs. So I was excited. I saw Jordan Renan tweeted it, and I just retweeted, said, yes, get these guys reps. So I'm excited for it as well. I always look forward to preseason again. I don't care if they lose 42-0, and I don't care if they win 42-0. This is not about the final score. It is about these guys getting reps. It is about them getting their timing. It is about building chemistry and getting ready for week 1 against the Titans. That is really what this is
Yeah.
about. So I'm excited. And Thursday, I'm definitely looking forward to it. It's always fun to get some Giants football. And yeah, we're not going against each other, so we can all root for the same team. It's not like, oh, the defense is playing really. Oh, Daniel Jones is struggling. Well, the defense is great. Well, the defense is, Daniel Jones threw a touchdown. Kenny Golladay burned Adoree Jackson. Oh God, Adoree Jackson sucks. So we ain't gonna worry about that. I'm gonna end up knocking this damn soda over because my hands are flying all over the place. So I'm just excited, man. I'm ready for some Giants football. Even if it is preseason, I'm ready. We're getting close. It's going to be here soon. Let me grab a couple of these real quick. Dashy, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Reds won the series from the city of Cincinnati over the Brewers. Mets are next.
Good luck, buddy.
Mets are on fire, Dash.
I will say, Dashy, I think you could get a game because we don't have DeGrom or Scherzer going in that series. So
they beat us 2-3. It's when it all started to fall apart for the Yankees. I can tell you that.
I think we'll win 2, but I don't think we'll sweep the Reds because we don't have our top 2 pitchers.
Jareed, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What percentage would you give DJ being our quarterback in 2023? Not high.
Yeah, it's definitely below 50% for me.
Yeah.
I'll go about 15 to 20%. I think there's a chance I'm going to go near 0% that he's going to get a multi-year extension. But I'll say about 20% that he could get a franchise tag. But that means I think 80% chance he won't be the quarterback.
Yeah. I'm in the same ballpark. I'd say 20, 25% for the simple fact that, again, everything is new. These guys have no loyalty to Daniel Jones. It's not their guy. And a lot of times when a new GM comes in, he wants to build his own team with his own players and his own quarterback. But if Daniel Jones can wow them and he really fits well in a Daboll's system and he has a big year, then yeah, it's very possible that he is tagged and he comes back for a 5th year. And as a Giants fan, that's what you got to hope for, right? You want to hope that Daniel Jones and the New York Giants are good enough to where Daboll and Shane, and Brandon Brown, and everybody else, my cop could say, let's bring the kid back. Let's have him have another year. Maybe he can get even better under a 2nd year. Now we can give him that multi-year deal.
Baddog, I've said it all along. He has to play the Giants out of a draft pick.
Yeah.
That's how he comes back, which means we have to win enough games where we're not in a position to either draft a quarterback or trade up for a quarterback. And the way that you do that is make the playoffs.
Right.
Period.
Right.
That's how Daniel Jones comes back. If we make the playoffs, he's probably coming back.
Yeah.
Because the Giants more than likely will not be able to draft a quarterback, even if they feel like they need to replace Daniel Jones. So win 9 games, play relatively well, and he'll get a franchise tag. That's what he has to do.
Let's hope that's what happens. Yeah. Because I want to be in the damn playoffs.
Yeah.
I want the damn playoffs. I don't give a damn who the hell the quarterback is. I want the playoffs. I want to win. I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of it. I don't give a damn who's playing what. I don't care.
I want DJ to be the quarterback for the next 15 years because that means he does a good job and we're winning football games.
Damn right.
Hopefully he gets the job done this year. Hopefully with the improvements around him.
Like I said, man, for me, it's all about the name on the front, not about the name on the back. That's the way I root for the Giants. It's not about the name of the back of the jersey. I don't care about that. I care about this. Look at this. You want to talk about a throwback jersey or a throwback shirt? Look what I found today. Anybody remember this guy?
Who's that?
Steve Smith.
Oh, that is a throwback.
Yeah, that is. I saw that in my drawer. I'm like, hell yeah, that was my guy. Bringing back them 07 vibes. Let's do it. All right, let's do it. Let's bring back the OC. Listen, 07 Eli was fire Eli, fire Coughlin. They stink. Won a Super Bowl, right? So let's. Daniel Jones stinks. New system. Blah blah blah. The Giants are gonna suck. Let's bring back the 07 vibes. Shock the world, baby. Let's do it. Andy, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Even in gents, 4 days until the G-Men destroy the chowder eating cheats. I like that. I hear we might be playing the firsts at some point Thursday. Excited. Yes, we were just talking about that.
Not maybe. We are.
We are.
Yeah. We
don't know how long, but yes, we will be. They will be playing.
Yeah, and Daboll, I didn't get a chance to listen to what he said today when asked about it, but I'm assuming he said what I said on Twitter. It's like you have 2 brand new schemes. You have to give these guys some exposure in the new offense and the new defense. So that's good news. I thought he would, but maybe we became accustomed to judge the last 2 years, so I guess you were a little bit nervous that they wouldn't. But we only have 3 preseason games. You got to get those guys out there.
That's right. Art Vandelay, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. As you see, I just gotten really lazy. I don't even pour the soda in the glass anymore. It's like 90 degrees down here, so as soon as it hits the glass, it turns to carbonation. So the hell with it. Nobody else drinks this in my house anyway. He says, "Did you guys run laps at FanFest?" Well, I didn't run laps at all because I haven't been to FanFest, but I'm going to say you didn't.
No, we didn't. Last year that was a dumb decision on our part because it was like 100 degrees out. It was fun though. We got fewer fans, and it was kind of making fun of the Joe Judge thing, how he made all the players run laps. But no, Joe Judge isn't there. So why in the world would we have to run laps? But Baddog, one thing I think we need to do this week. Somebody actually mentioned this today at Twitter on me. I think it makes sense. 3rd and 9 against the Patriots preseason game, quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I think that they got to practice. I think they got to practice. That'd actually be pretty funny.
Troll Joe Judge.
I think that'd be pretty funny. I don't think Dayball would do that, but I can tell you this:
I'm the 3rd string quarterback. Do a QB sneak at your own 6-yard line on a 3rd and 9.
I'm definitely spiteful enough to do something like that. I am. Sway, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Kayvon looking like a beast. He is. Can't wait to see him this Thursday. Hopefully, good battles with Andrew Thomas and Neal. However, I know Evan Neal's struggling, but you know what? Andrew Thomas struggled his first month too. And I remember even doing a video like, God, did we miss again? But he ended up being really good. So, I mean, it's always tough when you go to the NFL. And the speed that these guys come off the line with, the complex looks that you get from the defense, you don't know where the guy's coming from. A lot of times you don't have the right blocking scheme. You go block the wrong guy. It's just something rookies have to get acclimated to. I don't really know of a rookie lineman that comes in and like the first 2 games, he's completely dominant. So again, I'm an impatient guy. I do not deny this, but it's not like after 2 games if Evan Neal is struggling, I'm going to go, oh God, he was a terrible pick. Nah, I think Evan Neal is going to be just fine.
And what I'll say about Kayvon Thibodeau, Sway, I don't want to get too high or too low based off the practice reports. I have been there. He has looked good, but the Giants offensive line may not be the best barometer, right? So we'll see how he does. And it was interesting when we interviewed him as a team. You saw the behind the scenes when the Giants interviewed him before they elected to draft him during the combine. They asked him the exact question, Kayvon, the pressures of New York are really high. How would you react if you start your career first 5 or 6 games without a sack? Because you know the pressure is going to be coming after that. He gave a really good answer, and I'm not expecting that, but it's why I don't want to set the expectations way too high. He is a rookie, much like Evan Neal is. So it could take some time, but what I will say is he has looked so far very good, and I think he will have a very good year.
Yes, I do too. I think I'll be just fine. Clouts, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. What's up, handsome gentlemen? Talking to that guy.
I got to meet Clouts at FanFest too. He's awesome.
That's what he said. I want to hear an answer from both of you. What is your favorite moment in Giants history? What gives you chills thinking about it? Great meeting you, Chris. So
it was great meeting you. Great meeting you too, Clouts. I don't go back as far as Baddog. So for me,
thanks for rubbing that in.
Well, I'm not going to talk about the 86 and 90 because I appreciate it. I mean, for me, I say it all the time. It's got to be. Listen, my favorite play. I'll give you 2 moments. My favorite Giants moment is beating the undefeated Patriots. Nothing tops that. That entire run in general, throughout the playoffs, knocking off the Cowboys, knocking off Brett Favre at negative 20 degrees or whatever it was. And then, of course, knocking off the undefeated Patriots. Nothing's ever going to top that. I don't think in my life, in any sport. Like, it was so unexpected to knock off the undefeated Patriots. And it was my first championship as a fan, not just for the Giants, for any team I root for. And the fashion in which they did it, I don't think that will ever be topped. My reaction to that. I hope so, because I would be beyond euphoric, but I don't expect that to be the case. So I'll definitely go that. As you know, Clouts, my favorite player of all time is Eli Manning. So I'll give you my favorite player moment was when we went up against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC title game, because that is when I think Eli gained full respect, not just from the entire fan base at that moment, but by all of his teammates. The beating that he took that entire game, the defense they went up against. So those are probably my 2 favorite moments as a Giants fan. One, because I loved Eli. The other, because, I mean, come on, the undefeated, but you can't beat that. So I go with those.
There's no doubt. I mean, the helmet catch is one of the all-time great things. The Eli escaping the pressure. And the catch.
Individual play, it's that.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Yeah. But yeah, I do go back a little farther than I go back a lot farther than most Giants fans. I always joke around and say I've been rooting for the Giants even before Chris was alive, for crying out loud. That's how old I am. But 1990 was very special to me. It was a team where when I was in high school, I was a freshman. Everybody was a Niner fan. Oh, the Niners. Joe Montana, you're a 3-peat. That's all I heard. And, we lose Phil Simms. We're beat up. We got Jeff Hostetler in there. It's a tough. I always say, if you want a good old-fashioned, hard-hitting football game, 1990 NFC Championship is my favorite Giants game ever. That includes all the Super Bowls. Just knocking them off. The Super Bowl is the icing on the cake. But Pat Summerall, there's two calls that always give me chills. And Pat Summerall goes, and the kick is good. There will be no 3-peat. There's that one. And then there's Al Michaels. No good. Wide right.
That's the
chills every time.
Yeah.
Norwood shanks that ball to the right. So those are probably my two favorite Giants moments. And again, all the Super Bowls are special in their own way. That's part of being good, being old enough to remember when we were actually really good. And it's also bad because now I got a little bit spoiled, and now that's probably why I'm so jaded the way I am when it comes to the Giants, because I know what it is to be extremely successful. I know what it is to see your team be the best there is 4 times and, be one of the most dominant teams in the league. So for me to have to sit here and watch us be one of the worst teams in the league, I'm just not used to it, and it sucks. And again, I'm a guy that's very competitive. I get sick and tired of listening to that. The Giants suck. I get sick of it because what can I do? How can I defend it? I can't. There's nothing I can really say. Oh, bullshit. We're good. I mean, we haven't been. I want to be able to fight back because I'm a fighter. I like to fight back.
At this point, I'm a proof in the pudding Giants fan, and I have to see if they could deliver. I saw somebody, I think it was Authentic, say the Niners game was luck. 2 words, Kyle Williams. You're right. But what I will say, Authentic, is go back to most teams that end up winning a Super Bowl. They get lucky at some point along the way. You could go to every Patriots Super Bowl, the tuck rule, the throwing at the 1-yard line. In football, you have to get a break. When you have to go on a run like that, you have to get
How about Edelman's catch against the Falcons?
Yeah. Or how about the fact that the Falcons forgot how to drain a clock with a 28-3 lead?
Right.
Or how about they call a passing play when they should have just run the football?
Or Matt Ryan taking a sack.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the good teams take advantage of the luck that they receive, and that's what the Giants did.
Right.
Period. So yes, we got a little luck in that game, but sometimes you need a break. The good teams take advantage of it.
You do need breaks. Don Vito, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Baddog, this dude talks so much behind your back. Chris, you talk about me, Chris? What do you say about me, Chris? I gotta be honest. I don't care if he did or he didn't.
I didn't even listen to the video. I don't even know what was said. So it's God's honest truth.
Yeah.
And I haven't talked to Fisk in 2 years.
I'll be honest, Don. I am really too old to care what anybody says about me on the internet. I just am. I don't.
Unfortunately, Baddog, you have a lot of people on the internet who live for drama. And
in life, drama sells. I ain't gonna lie.
Drama, and that's what they want. And I'm sure from this stupid video, that's what they're gonna try to create. You're not gonna get any drama from me. I'm not gonna respond. Simple statement. Anyone who works with Fisk Vegas and Fisk Vegas himself is not welcome on my channel. That's it. He drew the line. That's the line.
That's the way. Ayub, thank you. He says Fisk is a clown. He refuses to see that DJ is average. Well, I mean, listen, I've said this before, Daniel. The thing that ticked me off, and that's why when Fisk and Cobb Pizzle were talking about me for a half an hour about my Jonestown video, I went on there and I said, I did a live stream that night or the next night and looked right in the camera and said, I'm calling you out. Come on over here. I'll go to your channel and we're going to hash it out. I went to his video. It's right on there. I said, have me on your show next week. And then I DM'd him on Twitter and I said, let's talk about it. And I'll give him credit. He came on the channel. We had a really good debate. I enjoyed the debate, and I thought it was very respectful. We were both very passionate, heated in our debate, but people are going to see Daniel Jones the way they see him. That's the thing that made me mad. Like, oh, you're so negative. You're not a Giants fan. Like, no, I get pissed off because they lose. I hate her as someone that's like, we're 11-6. Daniel Jones, throws 1 interception, 3 touchdowns. Like, oh, what a terrible interception. That's hating. But God Almighty, all I do is talk about what I see.
And by the way,
everybody sees something different. To me, I would never get on somebody for their opinion. It's just the way it is. It's just.
And by the way, I see Pizzle in the chat. He writes, I have nothing to do with this. I don't think you do. I don't think you told him to make that video. I don't think you're the type of guy that would do that. I just want to let you know, I don't know what was said in the video. I'm not watching it. But the whole reason Fisk got pissed off at me in the first place, Pizzle, I'll say this to you, it's because I stopped working with him. You know the reason I stopped working with him? Because of what he said about you in his video when he attacked your wife and your kid. And I knew it was probably a shtick, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to associate with somebody that would say that, even if it was a shtick, on YouTube. That's why I never had him on my channel. And that's really where this probably started from 2 years ago. He tried to hash it out. It is what it is. But that's the real reason this happened. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I thought this was all over Daniel Jones thing. And I never said, I never said you had anything to do with what's going on with Fisk and Chris. I'm just talking about your show in which you and Fisk talked about me in my Jonestown video for half an hour. Just said, I'm a negative Giants fan. I just report what I see. And it's unfortunate that most of it has been negative because, unfortunately, the Giants as a team haven't performed well. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish there was. But like I said, listen, I can tell you this right now. I was on here in 07, in 08. The Giants won a Super Bowl. They're the best team in football in 08. And I can tell you now, granted, things were different back then. The content was different. There was no StreamYard. There was no OBS. There was no live streaming. There was no collabs. It was a video response. That was it. YouTube actually had a option that you could hit on the bottom that said video reply, which they should bring back, by the way. But granted, it was a trash talking time, but every week I would come on here in 08, and every week I thought we were going to win. It did not matter. I knew we were going to whoop somebody's ass every week. And I would love to have that feeling again. But it's hard when you've won 22 games in 5 years. It's hard to say, God, all of a sudden it's going to turn around. I can be hopeful. And that's what I said. When I did this thing with Fisk, I went with an open mind, and I said, hey, he made some points. Did I do a 180 and like I'm Daniel Jones' biggest supporter now? No. Do I think the Giants are winning 12 games? No. But he did open my eyes to some stuff, and I said, I'm a little bit more optimistic coming out of that. That's the way I came out of it. But I thought it was a good debate. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, and it is what it is. Like I said in my video today, Giants fans are just pissed off because the team sucks. If we were winning games, this wouldn't even be a thing. None of this, we would not be talking about Daniel Jones if we were winning 10, 11 games every year. No matter what the hell his statistics were, it wouldn't matter. If we were winning cures everything. We talk about culture. Oh, the Giants need a better culture. Winning builds culture. WBC, I said all the time. WBC, winning builds culture, not just in the locker room, but with the fan base. The fan base is pissed for one reason or another, whether it be the O-line, the coaching, the losing, the secondary, the quarterback, whatever the hell it is. The fans are going to bitch about something because we have been so freaking bad for so long, and it's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm a passionate guy. I'm an emotional guy. I love my team. I bleed blue. And I'm emotional about everything I do. When I do something, I do it 150%, whether I'm in the gym, whether I'm at work, whether I'm playing Frisbee in the backyard, whatever the hell it is. I don't want to lose. I want to outwork the guy every time. So I want my team to do the same thing. So I get frustrated. And I can only speak for me. That's all I ever do. I don't care. People can make whatever content they want. They can say whatever they want. They can think whatever they want. Cool. If you got the balls to come on here and give your opinion, week in, week out, or day in and day out, you get my respect. I don't care if I agree with you. Don't. You get respect from me because it takes something to come on here and show your face, give your voice, give your opinion, have people, criticize you for your opinion. So I don't care if people agree with me or don't. I respect everybody that's got the balls to come on YouTube and give their opinion on whatever the hell their opinion is. So that's the way I look at that whole thing. T-Boy, thank you, brother. What's your thoughts on Slayton repping with the third team? Can't seem to catch. I know it's just preseason, but
and Jimmy, I said, how was the game today? I had a blast. I mean, it was great. The ground looked incredible. But as far as the I'm sorry, what was that last comment? You went away from it.
Oh, sorry.
It was about
Slayton. It said Slayton. Yeah, I'm sorry. It says, what's your thoughts on Slayton repping with the third team? Can't seem to catch. I know it's just preseason, but
I saw it. I said it today on Twitter. I didn't think this at the beginning of training camp, and by no means do I think it's like a sure thing it's going to happen. But I'm leaning he's going to get cut because first off, I don't know what's going to happen with Shep because Shep's still banged up, so I don't know if he's going to technically be on the 53-man roster or on the PUP or whatever at the start of the season. So maybe that'll change my opinion based off of that. But the way I look at it, Baddog, is one, Slayton's got no ties to anybody, right? He's a former 5th-round pick. He looked good his rookie year. No denying that. He had 8 touchdowns, looked good in the offense. Since then, he has struggled. But the way I look at it is this. He makes $2.5 million. We're strapped for salary cap. And traditionally speaking, the last receiver or two that makes a roster, it can contribute in special teams.
Right.
And you look at guys like Richie James. You look at guys like C.J. Board. That's where their strength is. So my line of thinking is I'm leaning, by no means am I saying definitively, but I'm leaning that he's going to get cut, especially when you factor in, like he said in the super chat, that he's working with the 3rd team. And to be fair, he looked really good in the last practice I went to. He did. It was probably his best practice, I would assume, because he looked really good. But there's competition there. Colin Johnson, I think, has looked really good at every practice. I've been to 2 and the practice at FanFest. He looked good there too. So he's kind of competing for the back end. Doesn't make nearly as much. He's younger. He's taller.
He's bigger. He's way bigger.
More upside. I don't know. But Slayton is what he is. He's a receiver with a limited route tree that has drop problems. And the Giant, Dave Gettleman's not here anymore. So Shane didn't draft him. I would hope that the Giants would try to trade him if they could get something for him. But I'm leaning right now that he might not make this team. And I'm surprised I'm saying that.
Yeah, but like you said, $2.5 million. He's a free agent next year. We're not bringing him back. And we're strapped for cap. I mean, it is what it is. I always liked Colin Johnson. I liked him coming out of Texas. The Giants should have drafted him, and because he is a big body, 6'6", 215 pounds. He always killed Oklahoma. I always remember him. Jesus, I'm like him and that damn Duvernay who ended up at Baltimore. I'm like, God, these guys are good. But yeah, I have a feeling he's going to get cut too. Unfortunately, his rookie season, he looked fantastic, and then he just fell off. I mean, he just can't catch. It's killer. He cost us the game in Washington. I mean, you can't put that one on Daniel Jones. Some people, hey, Daniel Jones would put that on. Oh, here's a perfect example. Chris, here's a perfect example of people that are like, you want to talk about guys that hate on Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Whenever Ingram dropped the pass against the Eagles, he threw the ball too far. Yeah, get out of here. Like that is hating. Oh, he overthrew him. Stop. He overthrew Slayton. Stop. Stop. That's a hater. That is a hater.
Here's what I'm gonna say, Baddog. I haven't watched all your videos, but I watched
I don't blame you. I haven't watched them all either.
No, I'm just not active on YouTube.
I'm just kidding.
As much as I used to be. But I watched the one video I think you made about how you said there's like a cult of Daniel Jones or something.
That was a Jonestown one.
I watched that, and I actually agree with that. I do think there is a cult of Daniel Jones in the sense that no matter what the guy does, people are going to back him no matter what. And I respect it. You're a Giant fan. That's your quarterback. I respect it. But I agree with a lot of what you said in that video. But what I will add to that, like you were just saying with the haters, there is a cult of Daniel Jones haters.
Yes, there is.
And then, I think the majority of Giants fans are in the middle. I think the majority of Giants fans are questionable, as they should be. The guy is 12-26 or whatever he is as a starter. Hasn't done a ton, but they say, all right, he's getting another year, whether it was due to circumstance or not. Because we didn't have cap space, because it was a poor quarterback draft class. He's the starter. There are improved surroundings around him. I'm going to give him the year to prove whether or not he could take that huge leap. I think that's the majority of Giants fans. But I think there is a cult of Daniel Jones lovers, and I think there is a cult of Daniel Jones haters, in the sense that Daniel Jones could forget to tie his shoes, and they want him cut from the NFL.
Right.
Giants. Like,
I agree.
They just want him gone by any circumstance. So I think it goes both ways. But I think the majority, I would say like 75 to 80% of Giants fans are kind of in the middle.
Yes.
And they're like, I have my questions, but I'll give him the year.
Right. Yeah. I agree with that. ATN Suse, thank you for the super chat, my friend north of the border. About the old line, my only question is Feliciano at center in a regular spot for the first time of his career. Hope that Gates plays football soon. I hope so too. I would love to get Nick Gates back. Nick Gates is a beast.
I'm not gonna bank on it. They showed Gates today practicing on the backfield. I think he was practicing long.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go.
I did see him at FanFest. I took a picture with him. What I will say is he looked like, not in playing shape, but he wasn't limping or anything like that. So that's good. I'm sure he's not fully recovered to be able to play, but he's getting there. I don't expect him to play much this year. I think it's going to be another year until he's really.
I agree. Just the fact he's back in the field at all after what happened to him last year is awesome. Andy, thank you, brother. When's Aziz back playing?
We don't know. I mean, what was it, hamstring injury, I think, right?
Yeah, you never know. Hamstrings are tricky.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't expect him to play on Thursday. But hopefully sooner than later. But you want to make sure that guy's 100% ready to go because, like you said, it's something that could be a reoccurring injury. And I said it on Bobby and Justin's podcast, and maybe we said it too. I don't remember. I kind of, at least I speculate, because we saw how much bigger Aziz Ojulari got in the offseason. Like, he looked like
huge.
And I kind of speculate that that may have something to do with it. Maybe that's reading too much into it, but a lot of times when you see athletes put on a lot of muscle in the offseason, it just seems more often than when they don't, they suffer injuries. So I don't know. Speculation on my part.
Body's carrying more weight. It's got to get used to carrying the weight. It's just your muscles get tighter. I've said that before. Your tendons don't get strong. Not that a hamstring has anything to do with a tendon, but your tendons do not get stronger. And listen, I'm not saying these guys do PEDs, but I can tell you guys that do and put on an abnormal amount of muscle mass that you're genetically not supposed to carry, your tendons do not get stronger. As a guy that works out knows all this stuff. I can tell you if I decided, I want to get big, I want to get huge, I'm going to start enhancing my appearance, and I got up to, 200 pounds, but I had 8% body fat, my body can't handle it, I'm going to start tearing muscles, tendons, because the tendons just don't carry that. Which is why I'm like, these guys, they put on so much muscle. It's why it's so more common to see knees and these tendons get torn, because these guys are so enormous these days. It's so much muscle and so much pressure put on a tendon, and the tendons they get weaker as you get older. But yeah, obviously, listen, the old saying was Bobby Marzano. He's like, that's why I didn't work out, because you can't pull fat, right? So these guys are all muscle. They're like 5% body fat. They're running 1,000 miles an hour. They're the greatest genetics on the face of the planet. It's going to happen, guys, especially in the heat. I mean, your muscles are going to get tight, and they're going to get, it's tough. You're going to get dehydrated. You're going to pull stuff, but a hamstring's always tricky. It could be 2 days. It could be 2 months. Odell Beckham dealt with hamstrings his whole career. So we'll see. Ayub, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Up Tainah, Fisk is cloud chasing.
I don't know what he's doing. That's his channel. He could do on his channel what he wants.
Gabe, thank you so much. He says, grown-ass man deriding and being childish over Daniel Jones. Keep doing you, Chris and Baddog. Let's go Mets.
What's going on, Gabe? Man, Gabe's awesome. Been with me forever, so glad to see you. And yeah, huge Mets fan. So happy for you too. I'm happy for myself as well. But glad the Mets are starting to get things cooking, man. It's been a long time.
Mets are playing very, very good baseball. There is no question about it. Sean, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. What up, guys? If there'd be one team this year that could go undefeated, who would it be? For me, it would be the Bills.
Sean, it's a good question. For me to really answer that, I'd have to look at every team's schedule.
It's probably the weakest division.
Yeah, and who has the most favorable schedule of the top teams in the NFL? The Bills. I mean, the Bills have a decent division. I wouldn't say it's a great division, but the Dolphins are improved. The Patriots are always a threat. With Belichick, he's going to come with a great game plan. But I don't know the rest of their schedule. But the Bills would definitely be near the top of my list. I think they're kind of the front runner this year. At least a lot of people seem to think they're going to go to win the Super Bowl. I would probably go them because Baddog, when you think about the other top teams, the AFC West is loaded. So it's going to be very hard to go 6-0 in that division for anybody, whether it's the Chiefs, whether it's the Broncos, the Raiders, the Chargers, and those are a lot of good teams. So that kind of cancels all of them out. I'm trying to think of the other really good divisions, the other really good teams, rather. The NFC West is tough. I think the 49ers are really good. I think they will split with the Rams, so I wouldn't pick either one of them. As much as I'm actually down on them, without knowing the rest of their schedule, because I don't think they're a great team, but they play in such a bad division, and they're a good team. I think the Packers would be near the top of my list because the NFC North is so weak. I don't know the rest of their schedule, though, but they're a team that I could easily see going 6-0 in their division. And they're a good team that I think will beat up on okay to bad teams. So I'd say the Packers would be near the top of my list. I think the Bills are a good pick. I'd have to think about the rest, but those are the two teams that sprung to my head.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would have said the Rams, but obviously the Rams, they play in the toughest division in football. You got the Niners, you got the Cards. So,
yeah, I don't think
Seattle's going to be good at all, but it's a tough division. Packers always have a chance to go undefeated, in my opinion.
Yeah, let
the
me
Bucks,
clarify.
perhaps. I mean, you got Brady. That's always a
The Bucks is
possibility
a good one too.
because
Yeah,
that division's terrible.
I'd actually probably have the Bucks slightly ahead of the Packers.
Yeah,
Their
the division's horrible.
Yeah,
so
those three teams, I would say the most likely.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think I can disagree. I think they are too, just because they're playing such weak divisions and they're really good teams to begin with. So
yeah,
the Green Bay lost Devontae Adams. It might be tough, and the Bucks just picked up Julio Jones. So I'd probably have to say the Bucks. I think the Bucks.
It's a good one.
Steve, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Who do you guys think will win the cornerback 2 spot? I know you were talking. I saw Bobby and Justin's thing with you, and I know you're talking about Aaron Robinson.
Yeah.
So what do you think? I mean, could he possibly win the CB2 spot?
I think he's going to. I don't know if he's going to keep it, but he's been getting all the reps, for the most part with the starters. So I think it's going to be him. I mean, maybe things could change in the preseason if he looks really bad, but he doesn't have a whole lot of competition. So, I mean, Cordell Flott's a third-round rookie that a lot of people felt, at least the starter's career, is probably better suited in the slot anyway. So there's not a lot of competition. So I think Robinson will be the starter. We'll see if he can hold the job all year, though. Hopefully he does.
By the way, real quick, we got 750 people in here. So thank you so much for joining us. Always appreciate the support. You guys, that's why you guys and girls are the best subscribers and supporters. I need to the best fan base. Even if there is a little tension, it's only because we want to win. I tell you, it's a very passionate fan base. It is what it is. And we're sick and tired of losing. But hit that like button. It's free. Don't cost anything. We got 240 likes. We got 750 in here. We should have at least 400 likes. I know that can happen. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. There'll be a lot of Giants content on here. More importantly, make sure you go in the description. If you're not subscribed to the Entertaining Talking Sports, I don't know where you've been, but subscribe to him because we do this every week. We alternate channels. We're going to do the preseason games, regular season games. We alternate channels. We do the show every week. We alternate channels. We always have videos up. So make sure you subscribe to all channels. We really appreciate you watching tonight. Let's go Giants. We are 3 days away, or 4 days away from actual freaking football. And I just want to tell you, if Daniel Jones stinks, I'm going to let him have it. How about that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to worry too much. But listen, if he's bad, I'm going to say he's bad. And if he's good, I'm going to say he's good. Yeah. And either way, I'm not going to go, wow, damn it. Tyrod Taylor should start. No. I hope Daniel Jones kicks ass. I hope Daniel Jones comes out. I hope he's like 7 for 7 for 82 yards and a touchdown. I would love to see it. You know what, Chris? As a matter of fact,
here's what I'm going to say before you finish. Daniel Jones could go 12 for 12 because I remember his preseason game last year. He looked good. I think he went like 17 for 22. He had a good game. I looked up the stats today. I think that's what it was. But he could go 12 for 12 with 12 touchdowns. And in the moment, I'll be excited. But, after the game, I'm going to be like, it's preseason, not reading too much into it. He go 0 for 12 with 12 picks. And it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to wait to really judge these guys until such time as the regular season because I realize it's dummy down playbooks. You're not getting the real true offense, and it's basically a glorified scrimmage. So they're going to try things. They're going to take shots that they may not necessarily take in the game. So I'm not reading too much into it either way.
I'm not going to read into it, but I mean, you got to give your post game analysis.
Of course.
Yeah. I'm going to say this: Daniel Jones will throw a touchdown, and it's going to be to Colin Johnson. That's my Colin Johnson. They're gonna get
that's if he gets with the first team. But if he does, I'd like to see that.
Why not? Why not put him out there at the first team? Maybe they split up the first and second teams. I don't know. So it's a hot take. Galladay will be out there for a series, and then you're gonna put the big Colin Johnson there. Maybe Colin Johnson comes in on the goal line. You put 2 big guys out there and see that. Why not? Why not? You're on the 8-yard line. You go 4 wide. You put 2 guys in the slot. You put Wandale and Tony in the 2 slots, and you put Colin Johnson and Kenny Galladay on the outside. You got Barkley in the backfield. But, I mean, you don't go with a tight end. I mean, what can you do? I feel like if you had that setup, it'd be tough, right? You got 2 little shifty guys in the middle. You got 2 big body receivers on the outside. You got an explosive running back in the backfield. You got a quarterback that can move. Colin Johnson, hot take. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Anybody, let's do it. Andy, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. It's a shame we didn't draft Trevor Penning. The guy's a menace. Rumor has it he started a fight with his own reflection in the restroom. You mean to tell me you've never done that before, Andy? I've done that before.
I'm going to say this, Baddog. I'm glad we didn't draft Trevor Penning And I know a lot of Giants fans were big fans of him. I think he's already been kicked out of practice 3 times. I think I heard that.
Yes.
So like, no, I'm much happier with the lineman that we took with Evan Neal.
Yeah, I agree. Trent, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Did you guys see DeAndre Baker got cut by the Chiefs? I did see that. Another fantastic Gettleman pick out of the league in 3 years. We don't do good drafting first-round corners here with the Giants. Eli Apple, DeAndre Baker, not really worked out.
Yeah.
Not really worked out. Aaron Ross was okay.
Aaron Ross was solid. No, I would say met expectations. He didn't exceed them.
He was a first-round pick. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. At least
it was a pretty late first-round pick, wasn't he?
But he was a first-round pick. Well, DeAndre Baker was a late first-round pick.
Yeah. I would say Ross met it. He didn't exceed him. I felt that same kind of way about Amukamara. I think he met them. I don't think he exceeded them. The last good top corner we had was Seorn, though. We say that all the time, and that wasn't even that long, but he was very good.
Right. Where are we at?
Well, and Janoris Jenkins for a year was great.
He was. Yeah, that year they were good. The 2016 they were good. All right, 303 likes. All right, we got 450 more people in here than likes. I know we can do better than that. Like I know the Giants can do better. I know we can do better with the thumbs up. That costs nothing, right? Positive vibes, 2007 vibes. Bring it up. Let's go. Quavo, thank you, brother. Fisk is a clout chaser. Chris, don't worry about it. We're still talking about that. Well, I'm a little behind.
I'm not worried about it, Quavo. If people are interested in his comment, they're not going to be interested in mine. So in his content, they're not going to be interested in mine. So it doesn't bother. Not worried about it.
DB, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. He says the Giants are going to have too much of a good season for there to be beef. God, I hope you're right, my friend. I just want the Giants to win. I'm just sick and tired of freaking losing. I mean, think about it. We won 22 games in 5 years. There are teams that have won more than 22 games in the last 2 years. Okay. It hasn't been good here. It's been really bad, but I know Chris mentioned this when he was at FanFest with Bobby and Justin and LPG, that it feels different. You know, we still may not be good. We still may only be a 6 or 7 win team. Maybe less, maybe more. If everything breaks right, we have a favorable schedule. There definitely are teams that I feel we can beat. And like I said, the Lions, the Jags, they're looking at us going, yeah, we can beat the Giants. No game's easy for us, but the energy is different. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass. I loved Joe Judge when he came here, and I got to give Shannon Sharp credit, man. I ripped Shannon Sharp for saying that doesn't fly. That ain't going to work. And he knows more than I do. He played in the NFL, right? He said that ain't going to fly. These guys aren't going to buy into that. And I was like, oh, you're just hating on the Giants. This is how much I had Joe Judge's back. If Shannon Sharp played in the NFL for years, he's a Hall of Famer. I think he would know better than me, but that's me wearing my heart on my sleeve. He knew. And again, after a year, I was on board, but I'm telling you, man, when he didn't play these guys in the preseason and had the extension of the preseason, and then he threw that challenge flag against Denver, and we got our asses beat by Denver. Right away, I'm like, he ain't the guy. All the air went out, but I'm like, we're the same old Giants. Nothing changed. We didn't get any better. We actually got worse, and that's what happened. And then he ran himself out with his antics, but it does. It feels like a fresh start. And again, I believe it's because everything is new. The GM is new. The assistant GM is new. Now the coaching staff, they all came in together. And the fact that Dable and Shane have worked together before and they're on the same page and they know what they want, I think this bodes. I think they're kind of a step ahead already.
Yeah. Listen, whenever there's a fresh change, it's going to bring hope. And hopefully this time around it works out. And I'm going to give them just as long of a leash as I gave Gettleman. I'm going to hope it works out. The one thing that I do love about this, the pairing at least, is that I feel like they're going to be forced to stick together. Like, this is clearly Shane's guy. He came over from Buffalo. So I don't think it's going to, like what happened to Shermer, I don't think it'll happen here. Nope. Like if the Giants are struggling after 2 years, I don't think they're going to fire Dable. I think he's Shane's guy and they're going to see this through. And they're going to go down together or they're going to succeed together. So I think it's almost a guarantee at least 3, if not 4 years of these guys together, especially being that at least there's a pretty strong possibility that they don't have their quarterback yet. So that buys them more time if things don't work out with Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones is a great year, and they do tag him.
Yeah.
They could still, after the 5th year, go, we're not giving him a contract, and then go rookie, and then they could give themselves a longer leash if they chose to go that way. But I also like the fact that I do believe John Mara is giving Joe Shane some autonomy. Now, these aren't relics. Dave Gettleman was a relic. Joe Shane's a good young football mind. Brandon Brown is a good. I always say I think Brandon Brown's the most underrated signing or like front office addition for the Giants. Because I love what that guy had a lot to do with Philadelphia turning the team around really fast. I know he had a lot to do with it. So, and I know Philadelphia was not happy that he left for the Giants. So I was happy to get him. And I just, again, I feel like it's just different. I don't expect to be great, but I do expect to get better. And I do think that these guys working together are going to be on the same page and you're going to see stuff. I also think that John Mara is letting Shane kind of do his thing. They demoted Chris Mara, which is something music to all of our ears. He already fired 2 scouts. Remember, when we did this year, when we drafted, that was not his scouting department. Those are Dave Gettleman scouts because Shane didn't have the job during all this, the combine and all that. Well, not the combine, I'm sorry, like college football. So his scouts are not looking for the Giants. So, this year when we go into 2023, it'll be his scouting department, and they're going to be looking for guys they want for the New York Giants. It's something that wasn't happening last year. So I'm again, hope springs eternal, right? So let's hope that we move in the right direction. Let's hope we shock the world. That'd be great. But I do feel like this time around, it seems different.
I hope so, man.
Sonny, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. That's a good one, too. He says, my favorite moment as a Giant was the playoff victory against the Cowboys in 07. That was a great one. They were the number 1 seed. No one gave us a chance. Winning in dramatic fashion with the interception, the end zone, T.O. crying at the press conference. That's pretty good. That was a pretty good one, too. That was awesome.
What I'll say is that the T.O. crying was incredible. What I will say about that moment, Sonny, that was the first time with that Giants team after they won that game where I believed that we had a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like even then I wasn't like, because we still had to beat the Patriots who were 18-0 or whatever they were when they got there. But after they won the first game, it was great. Like Eli got the monkey off his back. He finally won his first playoff game because he had lost the 2 previous against the Bucs. But then once we beat the Cowboys, who were really good that year, they were the best team in the NFC that year. In terms of record, I believe. And they were called like the baby Patriots. I remember that because they had a really good offense. And once we were able to beat them in Dallas, I genuinely thought we were going to go into Green Bay and win. I won't go as far to say that I thought we were going to beat the Patriots, but I truly believe that we were going to the Super Bowl after we won that game. So it was a great moment. And seeing T.O. cry like a little baby was great.
It was. Where did I just see this? Where's DeGrom? There it is. Robert DeGrom, they can be a member for 15 months. Found out what run support today is. Strider equals crap. Yeah. Mets are good. Brian Rogalski, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, Brian. He says, hey, for the Middle East, I'm from CT, and I taught my new Omani friend football. Now he is a Giants fan. I know we're pumped for the season. Well, thank you for watching from the Middle East. That is pretty
That's awesome.
awesome.
I
know it's got to be really early in the morning over there, so we really appreciate you tuning in for the Middle East. That's the coolest thing about YouTube.
I got to meet a subscriber from the UK when I went to FanFest. He recognized me. That was cool.
That is awesome that there's guys in the freaking these guys in the Middle East, Australia, the UK, Ireland. Like, it's awesome. It's amazing how far the Giants fan base spreads around the world. Yeah. It is really cool. Randy, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He says, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I do respect you, Baddog. You criticize the Giants when bad, praise when good, no excuses. You would deserve respect. I appreciate that, Randy. I appreciate that. I always say respect is earned, not given, right? So if you can earn somebody's respect at the end of the day, that is awesome, especially if it's from a division rival. But I always say, Randy, you're not going to – my biggest thing in life, not just on YouTube, my biggest thing in life is you can't please everybody.
I just want to respond to this because I've seen Joseph write this 100 times in the chat. He's a subscriber of mine. He says, I've been called out many times in my life. Never have I stood silent. It's not a good look. I have no problem talking to Fisk like an adult and not a 6-year-old child. I'm not going to make a video bashing another YouTuber. I don't come on here for drama. If you want drama, don't watch my channel. Fisk wants to call me, I'll talk to him. We've already talked about it a year and a half ago, but if he wants to talk, I'll gladly talk to him like an adult. I'm not gonna make a video on YouTube. Yeah. Period.
Don Vito, thank you, my man. Then why then why did you go to his channel a week after the cop this? Why didn't you say to Fisk you don't want to be cool?
Oh, no, Don, because Fisk called me and I explained to him why I wasn't working with him. Because I did admit fault. I said I should have told you. And if he said I didn't, I don't know. I didn't watch the video. He's lying. I did say I should have told you, but that's the reason. I didn't want to go on your channel. I didn't want to work with you because what you said about Cop Izzle. Then we hashed it out and I went on his channel. And I have not been active on YouTube, and maybe he used that as a sign of disrespect because I'm not working with him because he's the great Fisk. I don't know. I don't work with anybody. Go watch my channel. I haven't been active on YouTube. Occasionally when somebody asks me to come on their channel, I go on. If Fisk asks me to come on his channel, I go on. I don't make YouTube videos. I've been trying to lose weight. I've been trying to improve things off of YouTube in my life. So I don't know. I don't know what the beef's about. It is what it is. Yeah. We move on. I knew this was going to come out tonight because there's some silly video for 11-year-olds. I'm glad we're getting it over with because I'm not going to talk about it after tonight.
There you go. L.A. Lou, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. He says, Daniel Jones' biggest flaw is he can't carry a bad team. He has his moments, both good and bad, but the bad can be head scratchers. How will he do with a good team? This is the wait and see about him. That's why he drives me crazy. That's why I'm so hard on Daniel Jones. Physically, the guy's gifted. I've said he's got top 12 quarterback skills physically, but that's just half the game. The other half is processing defenses, anticipating the defense, anticipating the throw, making accurate throws, and being decisive and confident in your throws, being able to escape pressure, being able to move in the pocket, and be able to feel the pressure around the middle, up the middle, and be able to make the appropriate escape. Tom Brady is the most unathletic guy, and Peyton Manning's the most unathletic guy you'd ever meet, but those guys know how to slide around in the pocket and avoid a rush. If it's stepping up twice into the pocket, stepping up forward, or rolling out a little bit, or just making a little move, getting the ball off, Daniel Jones just needs to learn that stuff. That's why he drives me crazy, because I don't feel like that's progressed. Hopefully, Daboll and Shane and Kafka can get the pieces around him and can get that guy confident in his throws. Daniel Jones just lacks confidence. I saw a confident quarterback against the Saints last year. And I said, my God, if he would just play like that. I'm not saying he had to throw over 400 yards every game, but the confidence and conviction in his throws. I saw a guy there that I'm like, yes, that's the Daniel Jones I know is there. And then the next week he comes out, and I know he didn't play. I know he got hurt against the Cowboys, but I'm like, God, it's not the same guy. It wasn't the same guy against the Cowboys. So he's very up and down. So he's like the girl with the curl. He's kind of like Jake Plummer to me. That's who he is. Jake Plummer had all these skills. He looked so good one week. Oh, my God, this guy's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And then you're like, the dude's throwing left-handed at interceptions, and he's throwing 4 picks, and he's throwing 18 incompletions, 32 attempts. Like, what the hell happened to Jake Plummer?
Yeah.
That's Daniel Jones. I mean, that's why I don't have any hair left, but that's what makes me tear it out.
I think another one. I think another thing that was a big flaw for Daniel Jones the last couple of years, and I hope it has to do with the fact that he's had a really bad team around him, and I think that could be the reason. We're going to find out this year. I think he was a victim at times of trying, and I understand that he's a competitor. You know, you think about the Grady Jarrett play, lowering the shoulder. I think he was a competitor and a quarterback that realized his team was so limited overall, the offensive, just as an overall team. And I think he tried to do things that he was probably not capable of doing, and going above and beyond in instances where you have to be smarter. You have to get rid of the football. You can't go. You have to slide. You can't take on that contact.
Right.
And I hope, with what we all hope as Giants fans, is a much better support system this year. He doesn't do that. But right. I think he makes a lot of bad decisions at times. I think that is a flaw of his, and I think that is a big thing that has contributed to some of his injuries.
Now, I haven't gotten all the way down here because like I said, I'm a little bit behind in the chat, but I did see Fisk is in here, and obviously he must have heard what you said. So that's for you guys to hash out. So he probably did hear you going to hash out.
I mean,
well, I'm saying you said you go to whatever. I'm just saying he probably heard that because I just noticed he was here.
Thumbnail of me with the word Antichrist. He's not coming on my channel. I'm not going on his channel, and anybody that goes on his channel will not be on my channel. That's it. But if he wants to talk and be an adult and not make kiddie videos, by all means.
I got LA Loser already. LA. Juan, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Is that my medium Coke? Yes, this is a medium Coke. I got caffeine issues. Listen, I always like, when you're trying to be extremely low calories every day, this is a godsend. Like this cures my. I am addicted to caffeine, and I'm probably addicted to aspartame at this point too. But this cures a sweet tooth. Like this is huge. Not to mention it's carbonated, so it fills your stomach up quite a bit. So I swear to God, this is why bodybuilders all drink Diet Coke and Coke Zero, Diet Pepsi. Look at Greg Doucette, look at Noel Deitzel. They swear by this stuff. So I'm not alone. But he says, what's good to the two best giant content? What's up, Juan? How you doing, buddy? Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the compliment. Appreciate it. Well, where am I here? I know I'm pretty behind here. Sonny, my man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Says Fisk is just addicted to drama. Chris, the guy who hides behind a street persona as his shtick. Notice the pattern where he trashes everyone he works with. Crazy he's working with Capizzle, who he trashed.
I don't. That's their business. I'm not. I haven't listened to the podcast. I'll be honest. I don't. Like I said, I'm not on YouTube a lot. I think I've seen 2 Baddog videos in the last year. I'm not on YouTube a lot when I'm not on YouTube. So
that really hurt my feelings.
It's not just you, it's everybody. I tried to get a life off of YouTube because I felt like I was spending way too much time on it. But that's their business. They think they can put together a great show. That's great.
I'm just teasing.
But whatever.
Mike, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Love Mike's hat, by the way, in that video or the thumbnail. Ditching Fisk, sound judgment. Okay. I can see that we have yeah. It is what it is. This too shall pass. Andy, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. Check out the new profile pic. There it is. This beast is going to hunt. Quarterback should be scared. That reminds me, I got to get my McKinney jersey, man. I got to get that.
Yeah, I got the, I'm not wearing it, but I got the Tibbs jersey.
I saw it on Bobby and Justin's
podcast. But if I wasn't getting Tibbs, I'd get Neil. You know that. But the thing with Neil is, I heard a rumor that he's going to go back to 73. Jordan Renan said that. So I'm not rushing to get it quite yet. But other than him, McKinney would be my choice as well. I think he's the safest bet. I think he's a guy
that's why I was going to do it. Like my wife,
going to be part of this team for a while.
My wife gave me. Where did this go? My wife got me an Aaron Judge jersey for my birthday, and she's like, I said he might not be there. She's like, well, I said he might not be there, and she's like, oh God, and that's how I knew she got me one. This guy says, Baddog, you're really losing your mind. Sorry, bro. Why are you sorry? What do you mean losing it? I lost my mind long time ago.
I don't even know what you said that would.
I don't know either, but I lost my mind a long time ago. Long time ago. I have never claimed to be sane. As a matter of fact, if you watch my videos, I always say I'm a little bit crazy, and I am a little bit crazy. Anybody that lives the lifestyle I live has to be a nut job. I am. Yeah. I am. But you know what? As crazy as I am, and as much as I've lost my mind, I am normal. Because if you are normal, you're weird. Everybody's weird. Yeah. But yes, I've lost my mind a long time ago. So that's what comes of being a New York fan. That's what comes of living in New York. Most New Yorkers do lose their mind at an early age. It is what it is. Stanley, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, Chris, I hope you and Fisk hash things out. But here are my top worst teams this upcoming season. The Bears, the Falcons, the Texans, the Seahawks, and the Jets.
It's not a bad top 5. What's funny, Stanley, is I saw somebody showed it to me today on Twitter. I think it was the FanDuel Power Rankings. And they had the Giants 26, which is fair. We haven't won more than 6 games since 2016, so we have to earn our respect. But what I found interesting was the 6 teams below us, we play 5 of them. And the team right ahead of us, we play as well, the Lions, who were 25. So excluding the Giants, 6 out of the bottom 7 teams we play.
Yep. think we play or do we play the Falcons?
No, we don't play the Falcons.
We don't play the Falcons.
They were probably the one team that was, because the Jets were not. The Jets were higher than us.
Right.
That we don't play. But I was like, wow, it just goes to show you how weak our schedule is. And then we play Washington twice, who was 23. So, and we only play one team that was in the top 10, and that was the Packers, who were 5. Baltimore was 11. So it just goes to show you how at least going into the year, what appears, because things change from within season. We know that. How favorable the schedule is.
By the way, big shout out to the chat. We got over 400 likes, 420 likes. 420 likes, 420 crew. Yeah, you know what to do. Smoke them because you got it. 420 likes. Let's get 500. Why the hell not, man? Preseason is Thursday. Giants football is back. Chris and the Baddog. Where else would you rather be, as Marv Levy used to say way back when? Yeah. Hanging out with Chris. Well, maybe at the gate. Well, there's probably a lot of places they'd rather be. But if you can't be there, come and hang out with us on Thursday nights.
Yeah, man.
Payback, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. He says, I said last year the Denver game will determine the season. And it did, too. I think the Titans game will determine our season. If we get the doors blown off us, I don't think it'll be good this year, just a feeling. You know, it's a great barometer, Payback. It really is. I mean, things can definitely turn around because you look at the beginning of the 2007 vibes. We were really bad the first two games. But you're right. I expected us to beat Denver week one, and at least if we didn't, to give them a game, and we didn't. We got our doors, we got the brake speed off of us in that game. So I agree, man. I think it's a telltale sign. I think if we go in there and we lose a tough game, 20-16, but we fight and we have a chance, and you could see the energy is better, I think we'll have a good year. If we go in there and it's the same old Giants and we get drubbed 34-7, then we probably going to go back to, here we go again. So I think you're right. I think that opening week will tell a lot. It'll set the tone for the year.
I think it's a good point, Payback. I don't know if it's going to determine our season because who knows what's going to happen after that, right? I mean, we may have the worst luck in the world like we did against Dallas last year and everybody gets hurt. But what I will say, Payback, is if we win that game, the mindset for me, and I think most Giant fans that are being at least cautiously optimistic, changes completely because you look at the schedule. If you start 1-0, you say to yourself, okay, now we got Carolina home. That's winnable.
It's very winnable.
You got the Cowboys home. I'll skip that. And then you got the Bears home. So you're looking at the Bears might be the worst team in football. So you look at your schedule like, wow, we might get off to a 3-1 start. Potentially, I'm not going to predict us to win the Cowboys game, but 3-1 is very realistic at that point if you win the Titans game. And then you look ahead to the schedule. You say, okay, after we get past the Packers and Ravens, we play the 4 weakest teams on our schedule outside of teams from within the division, even including teams within the division. Probably the 4 weakest teams on our schedule with the Jaguars, the Lions, the Texans, and the Seahawks. And you say to yourself, wow, if we can win 3 out of 4 there, even if we lose the Packers and Ravens game, suddenly we're 6-4 after 10 games. So I agree. I think the mindset, at least for me, completely changes on the season if you somehow are able to beat the Titans. I agree with that.
Yeah, completely agree. Before I get to Jeremiah, who's the man, by the way, kick-ass beard. He and Dire Giants fan have to have like a beard contest. They did that in Cheers where they had like the beard. They were soaking up the beer, whatever they had. Did you watch Cheers or no?
I'm not religiously. I've seen a handful of episodes.
Okay, I mean, I didn't when I was younger, and then when my wife was pregnant.
Frasier was the spinoff, right?
Yes, when my wife was pregnant with little Baddog, we binged it. I didn't get the jokes when I was young, but as I got older, like when I was older, I was like, oh, this is hilarious. But yeah, they had a contest where they grew a beard, and Jeremiah and Dire Giants had some kick-ass beards. But before I get to that, how much weight have you lost now? Because you're still looking.
I went to the Met game today, so I had something I probably shouldn't have had.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking where you're at.
This may change tomorrow, but as of this morning, I was 211.4.
Yeah.
I started at I think it was 248.8. And now I'm at 211.4 as of this morning. So that's what is that? That's almost
37 pounds, brother.
37 and a half. So I still got a ways to go. I think 78, 79 pounds was my original goal. I got 165 to 170 is my
We're halfway there.
But we're at 211.4. The intermediate goal was 200 by NFL kickoff on September 11th. And then
not that shit. That's 11 pounds in a month. You could do that.
And then hopefully by the end of the year, I hit my goal. That's the plan right now.
You got this. Got it. That's awesome. Yeah. Jeremiah, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. He says, I can vouch on Up Tainah as now the producer of the Shakedown. He has agreed to come on our show. He is a class act, as his Baddog. Shout out to both of you. I only want to support all the Giants streamers. I appreciate that. Jeremiah.
Steve, I'm 5'11". As far 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in there. But as far as and I appreciate that Shakedown, man. Thank you so much. And listen, that is something I've always done since I've been on YouTube. That is something I will always continue to do. I may be more selective with people I work with, after this. So, but I've always tried to work with anybody and everybody, whether you are a podcast like the Shakedown Podcast, who I think they're a new podcast. I always try to, Authentic. I remember when he was brand new, got him on the chat. I always have tried to do that. I've tried to build a good community. I'd like to think I'm a big part of that. So I always try to do that. And I appreciate the kind words.
Dominic, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to two of the best looking guys on YouTube.
Hey, Dominic, man, I appreciate that, man.
Again, I'm looking around. I mean, maybe Chris. I don't know about this. Perry's is playing Mortar in the new Marvel movies. I'm not a Marvel guy. So is that a compliment? I don't know.
Well, playing Mortar, and to be honest with you, Perry, man, I'm not like a comic book guy. I watch the Marvel movies. I don't know who that is. The only thing that I know about Mortar is it's a Lord of the Rings reference. That's, I think it's like a city in Lord of the Rings. I don't know the context there.
DeGrom, I did read your member thing about, found out what run support today is. Strider is no good, or what, Strider is crap. I did read that one. You said you found out what run support. You're over in DeGrom. You got some run support today. I read that one. I read it a while ago, but I did read it. Where was I here? I got that one, or I got Perry's there. I don't know what Mortar is. David, my man, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you. When Andy Reid gets a shoe shine, can he tell if the guy's doing a good job? Or does he just underneath the guy's word for it? Sorry, trying to lighten the mood. You know who would do stuff like that? Bobby, Beantown Breakdown used to have the best Andy Reid jokes.
You used to have a lot of Andy Reid jokes.
Oh, of course. I mean,
I remember your chat used to throw in a bunch of Andy Reid jokes while we were live.
Yeah, I had to.
That was great.
That was always fun. The Kool-Aid. He was the Kool-Aid man.
He's a
Kool-Aid walrus.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Andy, thank you so much, man. Cheers. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate the generosity. Thank you so much. He says, watching a Giants game last year with the wife, she sees that there's a Giants player with the last name Price.
Oh, God. Horrible.
She says, you should get his jersey. He's got the last name as you, babe. I'm 40 years old. I can't be wearing a jersey with the number 69 on it.
Well, thank God you didn't get it because he was horrible. Billy Price was horrible. But I guess it's cool to have a player with the same last name as you.
It is.
Yeah.
Price. Or I don't think it was the last name. I think it was just the 69. Well, no, it was Price, but he happened to be wearing number 69. But yeah, luckily you didn't get that because he's pretty bad. You know what you should do is go out and get you a nice vintage Mark Price jersey. I mean, whether you're a Cavs fan or not,
That's a good one. One of my
Mark Price was the man. I had a Mark Price Cavs.
I'm going to tell you right now, for the younger people watching, even though obviously there's Giants, Mark Price in today's game would be like Steph Curry.
Oh, yeah, he would.
He would be like Steph Curry. I'm not saying quite as good because Steph Curry's dribbling ability.
Yeah. But
Mark Price was Steph Curry before Steph Curry.
He was.
He just played in a different era.
He definitely was. Mr. Mini Guy, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. I was at 270 at my heaviest, down to 206 and about to start lifting weights. Love that ground turkey recipe, Bay. I love to hear when guys lose all that weight, start lifting weights. But I'm glad the turkey, I told you, the ground turkey looks extremely boring at the start, but you spice it up right, man. I live for ground turkey. I told you, I got a guy that said I'm losing my mind. Like I said, I lost my mind. I get excited about ground turkey. Yeah, I'm a mess.
That's awesome, Mini Guy, man. I didn't know you lost that much weight, man. Congratulations. That's awesome.
And then Mr. Guzzo, Don Corleone of the chat. I was 350 pounds. It took me 2 years, but I got down to 220 and have held that way for the last 4 years. I know your dad goes out every day. He says he walks all the time, and he said he lost a ton of weight, and that is awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing guys that have said, you know what, enough's enough, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to lose weight. And I always tell people, you do whatever you need, whatever you want to accomplish, just find out what works for you and accomplish what you need. People do not need, like me, I am really crazy. Like there are people at the gym that are really egging me on to try to compete. They're like, you should compete. Just compete. You're probably at the level where you can compete. Do it. Do it once just to get an IBFF pro card, just to do it once. And in the back of my mind, I was starting to think, God, could I really do that? Could I really chop down to 7%, 6.5% body fat and get there? And I'm like, you know what? I know I could. Yeah. Here's the reason I will not compete. I ain't saving my legs, man. You know how long that would take? I'd have to shave my legs, shave my arms, shave my torso. You got to shave your body. I ain't doing it.
You'd have to. If I had to do that, I would probably just go to like somebody that does it for me, like a professional.
I'm not getting waxed. My wife's like, you'd have to wax. I'm like, that would hurt so bad.
I would never do it, but if I had to, I probably would do that.
Because you have what they do is they wax or they shave and then they spray tan you so that you're really dark and you look really lean and the lights hit you. And I'm like, it'd be cool, but no, not doing it. But like I'm saying, you don't need to go to the insanity level that I'm at. Just do what you got to do. That's it. Lose what you got to do. Get where you want to get. Anybody that does anything to better their health, I commend you, because it's not easy to make a change. It really isn't. It's tough.
No, I think you're absolutely right. It's a mindset. I ate when I was bored. You eat when you're depressed. But once you get on that routine, it comes easy. But it's hard to get on that routine, because you could be on it for a week or two and think you're on the routine, and then you go off of it. So, but once you get on that routine, you make it a routine, you make it a lifestyle, you can do it, and it's a lot easier than you think.
It really is. It's all habit forming. That's why what I do is really not difficult. It'd be difficult again if you're 300 pounds. I would never suggest doing what I do, because that's going to be almost impossible. But it's baby steps. I always tell people, you didn't gain it overnight, and you're not going to lose it overnight. It's a grueling process. It's tough.
It's not about a diet.
Once you get used to doing it all the time, it becomes easier.
It's about a lifestyle, though.
Second nature.
It's about a lifestyle. You have to make it if you make it a diet, you're not going to keep it off. You have to make it a lifestyle.
Yeah, no crash diets. It's not sustainable. Keto is not sustainable. You cannot cut carbs out of your diet for your whole life. When you go on a diet, it should be for your entire life.
Yeah.
Your entire life.
Yeah.
Levi, thank you, brother. Hello, my two favorite Giants guys. What are you doing to cut weight? What's your goal weight? I think Chris just said his goal weight. I don't have a goal weight. If I'm at a goal, I'm 165 pounds. I don't think I have a goal weight. I have a goal body fat percentage. I have a goal look that I want. So I don't really cut weight. It's almost like gaintaining at this point.
I'll tell you right now my routine. But yeah, my goal is 165, 170. That's my ultimate goal. I'm down 38 pounds. I'm 211 right now. But what I do is I eat a lot less than I did. But I've done the I told Baddog I've done the fasting where you only eat between 8 hours, which for me, because I need structure. Everybody's different. I eat between 10 and 6, unless I go out. Like today I went to the Met game. I eat probably at 7.
Still got to live your life.
You got to live your life. But that's what I try to do. You eat between 10 and 6, and it's calorie counting at the end of the day. But after a while, you're not counting because you get used to it. It becomes a routine. But you need a caloric deficit. And I exercise a lot. I've shown Baddog. I exercise a lot. I walk anywhere. It depends on the day. Like today, I didn't walk. I walked the dog, but I went to the game. But on a day I don't have much to do, I will walk between 7 and 10 miles. Sometimes a faster pace than others. And I'll go to the gym on top of that for about 45 minutes and burn another 500 calories. So it's a lot of exercise. Obviously, I know I can't maintain that once I hit my goal weight. But at that point, that's when you hopefully learn good eating habits, and I don't have to, burn 1,700 calories a day exercising.
Right. That's like me. Yeah. Every Saturday night, I live my life. I go out. Yeah. I don't care what I eat. I told my wife, I'm like, this is like having $200 and going into a card show. And there's like 150 cards that are $200 and I want my collection. I'm like, how do I choose? So Saturday night, when there is no macros, I do not care. I can eat whatever I want. I'm like, how do I choose? There's so many things I would like to eat.
Yeah.
We went to the casino last night up here in Saratoga, and I got hamburger and French fries. I wanted a hamburger, and the track food's not great. And then I got these pulled pork nachos. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. I was sick today. But what I do, this is the other thing. Again, you want to talk about being in a routine. Then we'll get back to the football. I eat that at night. I eat a lot. It's high fat, high calories. I don't eat a lot during the day. Normal, probably 600-700 calories between my first 2 meals. And I just eat whatever. I don't eat breakfast. I go to the gym and I do legs. I use all the stored energy and fat. And it also drives me to get to the gym and do my legs, because that's a brutal workout. But it drives me to say, I can't sit on my ass. I have to get there and burn that off. So again, it becomes your lifestyle, and it does get easier as you go along. Irish Rover, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. Says Chris, I watched the stream with you, Bobby, Justin, nice my guy. Looks like you guys are having a ball. Sam was there as well.
Yes, he
It
was.
looked like the chair you were in was pretty small compared to the rest. You looked great. Yeah, why the hell did they have you in a small chair?
They had two red chairs that were like, so yeah, that's just gonna, add to the rumors when people used to think I was really short. But Bobby was in
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, oh God, Bavitha's gonna be like, say, I told you Chris was 4 feet tall.
Yeah. But no, Bobby was in the same chair, which is why he kind of looked normal height. If you notice, like Bobby looked like he was same level as like LPG and Justin. It was like a sinking like beach chair, whatever. It was like one of those like a fold out chair that kind of sinks in the middle. So yeah, it was much lower than the fold out chairs. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had so much fun. Like I said, I got to take a picture with Nick Gates, and I got to meet so many great Giants fans, so many people that had great conversations. Got to meet some great people, and that's the most fun thing for me, man. I don't do that a lot. I don't go to a lot of live events, but whenever you get an opportunity to, like today, I was blown away. I ran into like I said, where I was sitting. There was a guy with a Giants hat on. The kid starts coming up to me. I'm like, this guy's gonna know my channel. I tell my friend that I'm at the game with. He starts talking to me. You're Christiana Tainah. I'm walking to get a beer. Tainah, guy gives me a fist pump. We talk for 5 minutes, and then I talked to another group of guys when I went up to the bar. You're Christiana Tainah. We talked for a half hour. It's great, when you talk to people and you see how much it makes you feel like what you're doing at least means something. People tell me how much they enjoy the channel, how much they look forward to my content, and it's great. I absolutely love it. And the Fan Fest thing was just a blast. Getting to meet all the content creators, all the Giants fans. It was so much fun.
Cushmaster, how can I be the man when you're the man? That's kind of, well, I don't want to say it's, I look forward to going to the Giants games. Anyway, I love going to Giants games. It's obviously been more difficult as the years have gone on with a kid. It's hard. I definitely have got to get to a game this year. I want to get to the Bears game. I just feel like that'd be the best one. And I'm just told my brother, I was like, yes, I'm in. I want to go. I want to go like I did before. I'm going to go up Saturday during the afternoon, be there Saturday night, be drinking in the hotel. Saturday's my day to just whatever. I'm not going to be able to do legs on Sunday, but go to Reds or whatever and hang out. That'd be cool. But I always wonder, like, if I'm there, people are like, oh, that's Baddog. It's because when it happens here, and it's rare that people recognize me here.
I got to meet Ms. Rahi, by the way, longtime subscriber. Both is. I see him in the chat.
Yeah.
I got to meet Miz. Great guy. He's moving to Florida, I think on Thursday, which is going to be our preseason game. So I got to meet him. Want to give him a quick shout out. He actually gave me a pair of Giant socks, which I haven't worn yet, Miz, but I will wear them. So that was cool too. Yeah,
I just, when somebody notices me around here, I always say it's weird that anybody would come up and go, hey, you're Baddog. Or usually it's not, hey, you're Baddog. It's, are you Baddog?
Right.
Are you? I'm like, I am. And then I start talking to them, but I'm like, I just think to myself, like, it's amazing that somebody's like, wow, I love what you do. I love your channel. Like, it's just weird that somebody's going to come up and go, like they notice you and come out and I always say I'm very humbled that anybody would take time out of their day to come up and say hello to me. It's humbling that somebody's like, oh, I'm going to take time out of my day to go up and say, hey, I appreciate what you do. This happened a couple of times, like a couple of days in a row. I don't know if I told you. So guys saw me at the grocery store, talked to me, and then I went to my buddy's card shop. And the guy I think I told you, he kept walking by and staring at me. He did it a couple times. And I said in the back of my head, I'm like, I think this guy knows who I am. The way he was acting, I'm like, he might, like I had a feeling. And he just goes.
Well, usually, Baddog, when I get that look, because I got it today, like I said, the Giants fan that was sitting near me with the Giants hat on, when I get that look, I either think, A, it's a guy that may be interested in me sexually, or B, this guy might watch my channel. And I've gotten that look a couple of times, and I don't know what to think. Because half the time I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not into that. Maybe, I don't want to give off those vibes. But more often than not, it's a guy that watches my channel, and we have a great conversation.
Yeah, he just said, do you have a podcast? I said, yes. He goes, oh, I thought you did. He goes, I recognize the voice. And then he said, I watch Chris more than you, but I love your show together. So I was like, I'm like, listen, Chris does great work. Awesome. I mean, I watch him more than I watch myself too. So it's all good. My man, Big Vault Daddy, big shout to BVD. My man, BVD, man. He had to have part of his leg amputated. So prayers to you, my friend. I hope you're recovering. It sucks. I know he's been battling that for a long time. And a lot of infections there. And finally, they had to remove part of it. So prayers to you, buddy. I feel for you, man. I know you always have a great mindset about things, and I'm wishing you nothing but the best, my man. It sucks that had to happen. But he says my nephew is a bodybuilding personal trainer. I remember you saying that he was a bodybuilding personal trainer. And when people tell me I compete, I always say I would need a guy to train me. Like I would need a Greg Doucette to train my ass to get me prepared for, because I don't know what the hell it takes. But yeah. I think it would be fun once in my life to just say I did it. I'm older, so that's what it is. It's like they're like, guy, you're 46. They're like, if you're going against other 46, 47-year-old guys in a natural bodybuilding competition, you're probably going to blow them away because your genetics are really good for being old. I'm like, thanks for pointing out that I'm old all the time. You look good for your age. Can we take for your age off of there? Well, some guys
say you look good. Just say you look good. Yeah,
some guys have said that tonight. So
you look a lot better than a lot of 25-year-olds. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Just say you look good.
I know.
There's a lot of bad looking 25-year-olds. So
well, that's true too. I mean, I guess it depends on the 25-year-old. Dick Rom, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. He says I curl 140 with my right and 15 with my left. Respect me. Lindor talking about how the is it Leiter talking about Al Leiter talking about how the Mets got lucky. Bro pitched 2 innings last year, thinks he's a champion. I don't know who Leiter is.
Leiter talking about
maybe it was a different guy. Leiter. The Mets didn't get lucky. The Mets are way better than the Braves.
The Mets are really good.
The Mets are head and shoulders better than the
Mets. Anytime I don't ever try to eat Yankee fans on Twitter, and I know you're not a Yankee fan like this, but anytime I post something positive about the Mets on Twitter, I hear it from Yankee fans like, oh, not as good as the Mets. Oh, 27 championships. Oh, this, that, the Yankee fans got to face the facts. I'm not saying we're better, but we're really good. The Mets are a really good baseball team.
I'm facing the facts. We're struggling. You guys have the same record as us, and you kicked our ass the last time we played. I face facts. I'm worried about October. I'm worried right now, actually, because the Yankees are really, really not good right now. Complete opposite of where they were.
I still think the Yankees will be good. And I think the AL is weak. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be honest. And this is the way I feel right now. It may change come playoff time, but I think the Astros are going to beat you guys. But I think you'll get to the ALCS. The American League to me is just way too weak. And you guys are still a really good team. So I think you guys will make
I think when we get Stanton and Rizzo back, things are going to change.
You guys are still a really good team. I just don't love the way you match up with the Astros.
No, I don't either. The Astros are tough. The Astros are really good.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys are adding value to New York Giants football. Well, thank you, my man. We try,
Appreciate it, Mike, man.
You're not going to please everybody. The best advice I could ever give anybody is you'll never please everybody in this life, so don't try. Be happy with yourself and let the chips fall where they may. Because at the end of the day, being happy with yourself is all that matters. Because if you try to go out and you try to please everybody, you will be freaking miserable.
Yeah.
All the time. I'd rather hate you. I'd rather you hate me for who I am than like me for who I'm not. If you don't like me, that's okay. Because there's other people that do, and there's other people that don't. It's just human nature. It is what it is. People like who they like. They don't like who they don't like. It's human nature. We should all get along, but we don't. I don't know what else to say. Lexo, thank you, my man. What free agents do you want the most? God,
next year?
Yeah, I don't even know.
I'll just tell you position, Lexo, because I don't know. And this could change as well, because I may feel completely different about our positional groups by the end of the year.
Use a corner.
Yeah, corner and middle linebacker, because I don't think Martinez is going to be here next year. And I think that could be a somewhat affordable position where you could get an impact player in free agency. So I would say corner, middle linebacker, interior offensive line. Those are probably the 3 areas that I'd be looking at in free agency as of now, next year. But in terms of players, I have no idea.
Giants girl in Florida, what is going on, my lady? Thank you for being here. I did see somebody ask me, what do I need to do to, Authentic just answered it. I noticed it up above and somebody said, what do I need to do to gain weight? And I was going to say peanut butter is one of the best things for bulking. And Authentic answered it right there. He said peanut butter. That is. When you're trying to,
like wants to gain weight for muscle.
When you, and it's not even
you can gain weight if you eat a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, it depends if you want to clean bulk or dirty bulk. It really just depends on the way you want to bulk up. But peanut butter is a very big misnomer when it comes to diet. Oh, it's high in protein. It's good for you. No, it isn't. If you're trying to lose weight, it is not good. It is extremely high in fat. It is condensed calories. It has about 6 grams of protein per serving. It has 16 grams of fat and 190 calories and 2 tablespoons. That is why PB Fit is the greatest thing I've ever found in my life. Shout out to Greg Doucette for turning me on to PB Fit because it's peanut butter powder. 2 tablespoons of that is 70 calories. It's 8 grams of protein, and it's like 1.5 grams of fat. So I throw it in my protein shake, and I get the peanut butter taste that I want without no fat, without the carbs, but all the protein. PB Fit, they do not sponsor the channel, but I would suggest if anybody likes peanut butter and doesn't want all the calories and fat.
I'm going to have to try that out, I think.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to have to try that out.
I put it on. I take a tablespoon of it, throw it in a bowl, dip a banana in it. Or sometimes I put it on my pancakes.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me on Instagram, they're like, isn't that dry like that? I'm like, yes. I eat the pancakes dry. I don't put anything on it. Somebody told me sugar-free syrup. I'm like, I'm going to have to check it out. That's what I love about Instagram. A lot of my guys on IG, one guy turned me on to sugar-free barbecue sauce. There's no fat. There's barely any carbs. I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, how come I didn't know about this? That's awesome. I'm like, yes. And then I have my buddy Jay Monroe. He's a big young built dude, but he's like, go look for the sugar-free syrup, because if I get sugar-free syrup that doesn't have a lot of carbs and calories on my pancakes, that'd be great. I love the pancakes plain, but they'd be better with a little sweet.
I can't eat plain pancakes.
They're not. I can eat them as a snack now. Like, I love those pancakes.
I mean, I guess I
love those pancakes.
I guess I could, but there's no way I could ever make that like a regular part of my diet. I couldn't.
Every day, Chris. I eat them every day.
Now, if I could put syrup on it, yeah.
No syrup. Every day, 3 Kodiak pancakes at work every day. And 1 yogurt every day.
I could not do that. I could not do that.
Today, we did 2 yogurts and 3 Kodiak pancakes. Then for lunch, we had a cup of egg whites and 10.5 ounces of grilled chicken. Then for dinner, we had 10.5 ounces of grilled chicken, and we had 18 asparagus spears, and then we had a banana and PB Fit, and then we had a protein shake, and that is my day. It was like 1,870 calories, 270 grams of protein, 29 grams of fat, and like 120 carbs. Typical day. Orvin and Jagram, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, I want to be Matt Carpenter clone Spencer Strider. Oh, I didn't know who that was. Do you know who Spencer Strider is?
No, I don't. Let me look him up real quick, but no, I don't. The pitcher. That's the guy who pitched against the Mets today. He's on the Braves.
Oh, there you go.
He's a rookie. Who did he say he was a clone of?
Matt Carpenter. Must be the stash.
Oh, he does have a stash. Yeah. He's actually really good. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Gotcha. Sean, thank you, my man. Appreciate it. What is Julian Love going to be for us? I think cornerback 2.
No, he's going to be safety.
Yeah.
Cornerback 2 is going to be Aaron Robinson. Julian Love's slotted to be the safety opposite Xavier McKinney. He's going to start, though, but he's not going to be a cornerback.
My man Ray W. said, one of the companies I represent is Kodiak Cakes. They're amazing. Hook me up. Can you hook me? Can you hook me up? Hook me up with some free Kodiak pancakes. I can only find buttermilk ones at the supermarket I go to. The other supermarket, Market 32, I hate it. I hate Market 32, but they have chocolate chip pancakes. I don't know if they have any other pancakes besides chocolate chip and buttermilk. The waffles, they have blueberry, they have cinnamon vanilla, they have chocolate, but the waffles are very high in fat. I don't eat the waffles.
Kodiak makes waffles also.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But I stay away from them because it's 11 grams of fat. And the pancakes are 1.5 grams of fat. It's a big difference.
Okay.
And the waffles are higher in calories. It's just, there's an issue going on in here. Davey says whey protein is good. It is. It's fast absorbing protein. So it is very good before your workout because your body can use it as energy. Casein protein is a slow digesting protein, which is good after your workout. So what I do is I take, usually I do a scoop of casein protein and a half scoop of whey protein after the gym. That way my body digests the protein a lot slower. And if you need to hit macros at the end of the night, you can take casein protein before you go to bed. Because obviously when your body's sleeping, it still needs to feed off something. It's going to feed off the muscle. But if you have casein protein in your body, it'll feed off of that for a while. I used to see, this is where I messed up. I used to do it with peanut butter because peanut butter is a slow digesting protein, but peanut butter is high in fat. It was just wrong. I was eating incorrectly for what I was trying to do. But I do like those. Casein and whey protein are very good. Mike, thank you, brother.
I have whey protein. I have it occasionally. I'm not doing it as regular as I want quite yet. once I get into the weights, I'm going to start doing it. But I got whey protein, which
again, it's all about calories. So just there's not much calories in.
I think it's like 160 per scoop.
Yeah, it's not much. It's 160 a scoop. Casein protein, I think, is 140 a scoop. It's not a lot.
Yeah,
but the scoops are big. And then you throw some PB Fit in there. You add like 70 calories, but it's nothing. It's good. Mike Gorga says built protein bars are like real candy bars. Mike, my son, every time I get, and I don't like I try not to eat the protein bars because they're high in sugar and they're high in fat and they're high in calories. Like the protein bars I like, which I'll have during my 24-hour stream because they're easy to eat. And it helps me out. They fill me up. I'm probably gonna have like a dozen C4 energy drinks. If I have 4 of those, but they're high in fat, they're high in calories. But my son freaking loves them. Every time I have one of those Metrics protein bars, my kid's like, "Daddy, can I have some of that? Can I have some of that?" Because it is like a candy, but it really is like a candy.
Yeah, you can't be eating that probably quite yet. Not regularly, anyway.
What's that?
Protein bars, right?
Oh yeah, they're freaking. They're good, but I try to stay away because they're like 400 calories a piece, and they go away fast. She's like, I'm hungry now. What am I gonna do?
Oh yeah.
Agitator says it was good to see you getting ready for that. How many people did you meet down there, Chris?
Oh, I think he might just be saying that he's glad.
I didn't know if he got to.
I met a lot of people. I met I don't know. I'll say like 300. Because there was a lot of people at the tailgate, and I was talking to a lot of people, taking a lot of pictures. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing guy says that the Giants win on Thursday.
It doesn't matter. That's what I'll say. I'll say they do, but to me, it doesn't matter. We went undefeated in what was it, 2018, or something like that, and we won like 4 games or whatever. So preseason, in terms of winning and losing, doesn't mean anything to me. To me, most important thing, I say it all the time: preseason, get out healthy. That's number 1. Get out as a fan. Get out healthy. Number 2, the thing I'm looking for is the scheme. But again, you're not going to get the full taste of it in a preseason game. But I'm looking for the new offense. Look to see if they look somewhat sharp in the offense to give yourself a little bit more confidence going into the game. And of course, you're going to be looking at Neal. You're going to be looking at Thibodeau. Aaron Robinson, definitely going to have an eye on him, right? Because I think he's kind of a guy that could be, a bit of a weak link. I hope not, but I worry about that cornerback 2 spot. So I have my eye on that. And just the overall performance of the offensive line. And Barkley, I want to see, because I really, and of course the receivers, but more so Barkley, because I really am intrigued to see if Barkley is back to the Barkley that we know in 2018. I want to see if he has that burst.
Yeah, to me, amazing guy. The score doesn't matter. If the guys play well and they look good and they're getting a grasp on things pretty quick, and we see them kind of, getting better and better as it goes on, then I think that's a win. I think that's what we're looking for. I think we're just looking for player performances, hoping everybody gets out healthy.
Yeah,
I think those are wins at the end of the day. I don't think the score matters so much, but I think that we can win. And hopefully we do. I mean, a win is a win. I don't even give a damn if it's preseason at this point. It'd be nice to freaking win a game. I don't even give a damn. But I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, here we go. We're going to win the division. But I would like to see these guys come out healthy. And like I said, I would like to see Daniel Jones play well and him and get some rapport with the receivers and Barkley be explosive. By the way, shameless plug, since we've been talking about fitness and everything, if you want to know more about my diet plan, fitness, the things I do in the gym, all that stuff, we're going to start live streams over on this channel very soon. We got almost 1,400 subscribers. There it is. It's my link to my fitness channel, Baddog Fitness. And
you're doing live streams on that channel?
Eventually, I'm going to, yes. Probably pretty soon. I haven't done them yet, but I will start doing them. There's actually a video where I go grocery shopping. It's probably my favorite video.
I watched that.
Yeah, it was fun.
I watched it. Yeah, it was good.
So you can see what I eat. That's pretty much what I live on. The stuff that I put in there is pretty much what I live on. Check it out if you want. Like I said, I'm going to start doing a lot more stuff in there, but I showed how I made my ground turkey and I talk about what I eat. I show some of my workouts and stuff, and I love to talk about it. So if you're interested in that, there's the link. Chris, my man, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Missed the stream, guys. My bad. You don't ever need to apologize for missing a stream or being late. We're always here. Life comes way before Chris and the Baddog. He says, working hard out here in the North Dakota.
Well, thank you for popping in, man. Just hanging out, talking Giants like we always do, talking to the chat, having fun. And that's what this show is about, man, connecting with the community. So we appreciate all you guys, Chris.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I
mean,
mean,
I just keep seeing a bunch of people asking about Thursday. Yeah, we're going to stream it on Thursday.
Yes.
Preseason game, we're going to stream it on Thursday.
Definitely. I was going to say so is there besides, I mean, obviously, I think all eyes are on Daniel Jones, as they always are. But is there like another player that you're like, I really want to see what this guy does? Is there somebody you're like, I have to see this guy?
I think it's me. I think it's going to be the new guys. It's going to be Thibodeau. It's going to be Neal. And for me, it's Barkley because I'm really excited about him this year. Wan'Dale Robinson, should have mentioned him too. I know a lot of people are really excited about him.
Yeah. He's a great in camp.
Yeah. But the thing I'm going to say about Wan'Dale, and I'm really excited about him, I don't think you're going to get a real taste of Wan'Dale because, like I said, I don't think they're showing you the whole repertoire of this offense. And I think come game week 1, you'll really get to see how they plan to utilize him in this offense. But they don't want to show everything, right? You don't want to give too much away. So,
right.
But I'm excited to see him too. I've seen him in obviously in the training camp, the 2 practices I went to, and you get a better, at least when I went to the Fan Fest, it was more so me just hanging out with fans, and I was kind of far away because it's a huge stadium. Yeah. When you're at the training camp, you get a better look, and he's good. I just don't know how big of a role he's going to have this year because he's a rookie. In terms of like stats, if you ask me I have no idea in terms of stat predictions, but they're going to use him a lot. They're going to be very creative with him. He needs to work on his route running somewhat for sure, but he's shifty. He's got quick, he's quick in short spaces, if that makes sense. He may not necessarily have like Tyreek Hill speed, but he's got like that shiftiness, which really impresses me. And he could be used in so many different ways. Definitely expect him to be used in the backfield this year. They did it a ton in the practice, not a ton, but I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times in the 2 practices I went to. I don't think you'll see the full arsenal in the first preseason game, though.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, real quick, still over 600 in the house. Thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate it. 11 likes away from 500. So let's get to that 500 mark. That is pretty awesome on a Sunday night, right before a preseason game. We appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. Again, if you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button on this channel. Make sure you ring the bell. More importantly, link in the description to the Entertainer Talkin Sports. We do this every week together. We alternate channels. We do every game together. We alternate channels, and we do that as well. We do every game unless we're at the game, which I'm still trying to get to. I just got to get confirmation. But the Bears game is the one that I wanted to go to. So we do every game together. Like I said, we put out a ton of videos during the season. So make sure you subscribe to both channels. Always appreciate all your support. We've been really bad, and yet this show continues to grow. And that's all because of the great Giants community, the great Giants fans. We're all frustrated. We're all ready to turn it around. I've been saying this for 4 years since Chris and I started. Just wait till we're good. Just wait till we're good.
I'm not going to have hair by the time we get
I mean, you joined the club. I haven't had hair. I don't know what the hell I'm not going to
No, I'm kidding. I think I have hopes that we're going to get good pretty soon. But yeah, we'll see. I'm excited about it.
I saw a lot of guys saying Evan Neal. They're looking for Evan Neal. Davey said Aaron Robinson. I saw a couple other guys. Kayvon Thibodeau, Aaron Robinson, Evan Neal.
Yeah, those are the guys. I think because more so with Robinson. And I'll say Adoree Jackson too, because Adoree Jackson is going to be matched up on 1, something that he was not last year. So I think that the corner play in general. Darnay Holmes as well. I think he's a good guy to keep an eye on too. The slot corner, he's been having a good camp. And he could be a vital piece. Like if he could become at least an average starting slot corner, that could mean a lot for this team. So the secondary in general, definitely I'll have my eye out on in this game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm kind of anxious to see Kenny Golladay. Like Kenny Golladay got off to a really bad start, and then all of a sudden it seemed like he and Jones started to click a little bit. And I really feel like Kadarius Toney and Wan'Dale Robinson could definitely be, especially Kadarius Toney. He could be like our explosive guy, but man, Kenny Golladay is supposed to be our number 1 receiver. We paid him a lot of money, and he was supposed to help in the red zone. And I just feel like I would like to see Daniel Jones and Kenny Golladay get that connection early so that we have that. And it starts to open up the middle of the field for guys like Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney. So I'm kind of anxious to see how Daniel Jones and Kenny Golladay do in this game and in the preseason, but I would like to see them because they never really got into a groove last year. We need those guys to get into a groove. We need Kenny Golladay to be the 17-yard receiver, 17-yard per catch receiver that he was in Detroit, and we need him to be a red zone monster. So I'm hoping that's a guy I'm really.
And he looked great, supposedly. I wasn't at that practice, but I think it was the last practice, not the fan fest, but the last.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. He had a really good week of practice this past week. So,
but what I will say, Baddog, I don't know if you saw the clip, and I didn't like seeing it. And again, it's practice. But I forgot who posted it. I think it was Ash Money, who's got a YouTube channel. I don't know if he still calls that. Check him out. He's a Giants guy. I think he posted a clip on Twitter. And everybody obviously was focused on the Daniel Jones throw, which was definitely offline. Now, you could argue maybe he made it offline because Golladay wasn't open and people were having debates about that. But on the route, Kenny Golladay looks so lazy. Like, so lazy. I saw it. And in my head, I'm like, you know what this reminds me of? And if he does this in the regular season, I hope he doesn't. It's giving me Julius Randle vibes, like that bad body language vibe. And you know how New York fans are. You saw it with Julius Randle this year with the Knicks. If Golladay goes out there and runs routes like that this year because he's discouraged, and I know it's practice. That's why I'm like, maybe he doesn't care. But you should still care in practice.
You should, because practice forms your habits.
And you're a leader. You're one of the leaders of the team. You're the veteran in the wide receiver room. So I didn't like seeing that. I'll tell you that. But supposedly he did have a really strong practice the day before. Yeah.
So again, that's kind of why I'm looking forward to seeing what the hell he and Daniel Jones do. Yeah. Zach, thank you, my man. He says, "Hey, Baddog, congrats on almost 100K subs." I'm trying, man. That's crazy. Do you have any plans for a video for that goal? I said, if and when I ever reach 100,000 subscribers and I get the silver play button.
What do you got now?
99.3.
Okay, so you'll hit that.
Yeah, we're close. We're getting close. Football season. I'm hoping by the end of September we're there. But my plan is if and when I get there, when YouTube sends me a silver play button, I plan on unboxing it and doing a premiere video where I thank a lot of people for all the support and everything. So that's pretty much what I have planned. I don't think it's anything spectacular, but that's kind of what I have planned. There's a lot of people I want to thank, and so
you'll get there soon. I would think within a month you'll get there. Maybe. Well,
you never know with YouTube. It's weird. YouTube is weird.
Maybe 2 months.
I don't know if anybody else is having this problem with my chat, like talking in my live chat. I know today I went to a few live streams. And I couldn't chat immediately. And I had to wait like 30 seconds to a minute before YouTube put the thing up there for me to comment. It was very strange. It happened on Pete Simonetti channel on YY News. I wanted to comment during the Yankees-Cardinals game, and I couldn't. And then it let me. And then I went to Philly 500 when he and Joey Shakes were doing the. By the way, we have to work with them this year. You and I have to work with them. We have to do that. Like when they play the Giants, they got to come on our channel.
Did we do that last year? I felt like we did.
Not with Joey and Philly. I don't think we did. No. I think something happened. Like you either had something to do. I ended up going on the channel. But you couldn't make it.
Something came up. I don't remember.
Yeah. So maybe
it was at the game or going to the. I don't remember.
It could be. It was something. Something came up and you couldn't make it. And I was just like,
definitely we'll do it.
But yeah. Kyle, thank you, my man. Appreciate you, brother. I'm excited for Brightwell. He looks awesome in camp. What have you thought about Brightwell?
Kyle, to be honest with you, I haven't seen him a ton, at least the 2 days that I went. FanFest, I wasn't really looking at the running backs, if I'm being completely honest, outside of Saquon Barkley. He didn't do much when I've seen him at the 2 practices I've been to. I am leaning Brightwell may not make the team, but we'll see. Corbin's actually stood out to me, the undrafted free agent, and we'll see tomorrow. But what I will say, he is shifty. We were talking about Wan'Dale Robinson. He's one guy that actually popped out to me at the Fan Fest. I don't know how much work he got, but the couple of times I saw him, I'm like, wow, he's got that quick burst of energy. But and I do think Williams, I think that's his last name, the guy we picked up from Buffalo, I think he stands a good chance, and of course Breida. So I don't know about Brightwell. We'll see. He's obviously got a shot. He was drafted last year, but he wasn't drafted by Shane. And I'm going to assume Shane's not going to value special teams quite as much as Judge did, being that Judge was a special teams coordinator at his previous spot.
I think we had the worst special teams in the league.
Yeah, but and that's kind of why Brightwell was drafted in the first place. So he's definitely got a chance to make the team, but I would not be surprised if he does not make it.
It's weird because I thought Brightwell did pretty good in the preseason games last year. It looked like he could catch the ball out of the backfield. I thought he would definitely get a shot, and he never really got it, especially when Barkley went down. I'm like, where the hell is Brightwell? They never seemed to really give him a shot. So I haven't heard much about Brightwell.
He's definitely got a chance. I mean, we're really thin in the backfield,
Definitely.
So it's also going to come down to how many backs we carry, right? Because we've been accustomed to carrying fullbacks. You're not going to see that this time around. So maybe they carry an extra running back. And he obviously could be a contributor on special teams. So maybe they will go that route. We'll see.
Big Dash notice says Galladay slipped. I don't know. It's tough to tell from the camera angle what exactly.
Yeah, that might be true. And maybe I got to watch it back. To me, even if he did slip, it looked like he was not putting his all into the route.
Gotcha. Art Van Delay, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. One of the best names on YouTube. I mean, if anybody's my age and Seinfeld, obviously, who doesn't? He says, do you think Flott would benefit from sitting a bit and Darnay starting in the slot? Darnay seems to have a good camp as of now. Well, Darnay's been like our best defensive player.
Yeah. I think Darnay's going to start.
Yeah.
Art, I do. I think Darnay's going to start, at least to see at the start of the year. And we'll see. Maybe Flott takes that job over. But I think when we drafted Flott, those were my expectations. I didn't expect him to be an immediate contributor. I didn't expect him to be. He'll probably get on the field because we're going to have a lot of different packages when maybe we have an extra DB. I think he'll get on the field. I don't think he's going to get a ton of reps to start. But if Darnay Holmes struggles, yeah, you could definitely see get an opportunity. Hell, if Aaron Robinson struggles, if they feel like he can play on the outside, and he has gotten reps on the outside. So good chance he sees the field at some point this year, but I don't think he's going to start at the beginning of the year.
Somebody must ask about the 24-hour stream, but Afghanistan said August 20th. Yes. August 20th, I will be live for 24 straight hours. This will be the 7th time that I have done this. I'll start streaming at 9 a.m. on August 20th, and I will not stop until August 21st, 9 a.m. I usually have a lot of guests in there. If Chris is available, he usually swings by. I always have Philly 500 on around midnight because it's hilarious. I'm loopy by that time, and Philly cracks me up. Those are the key hours. Those ones early in the morning. We will have a Yankee game. I believe they play the Blue Jays at 1 o'clock. So I'll have that. I'm sure I'll have baseball all day. Uncle Lou usually comes by. Usually have a lot of, guests. I got Hot Take Hockey on here once. I had Josh from Sports Tree. So we'll try to get some guests. I do a lot of stuff on that. And half of whatever I get in that stream, whether it be through donations, ad revenue, merchandise sales, or people becoming members of the channel, whatever I get, I donate 50% to Wounded Warriors Project is where it's going this year. Like I said, this will be the 7th time I've done it. Last time I did it, I got through 24 hours pretty easily. The C4 was huge in that, so I'm going to probably have about a dozen C4 energy drinks on hand for that stream because it did seem like they helped me stay awake. So, and I'll start off with a massive coffee, and then we'll count my bathroom breaks like we do every year because it's funny that I pee about 17 times in 24 hours. I haven't peed yet tonight, by the way. So that's a good thing. Farasi, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, how much Wandale in the backfield have you guys seen? Now, what do you think is a realistic expectation for yards and touchdowns this season?
Yeah. I've only been to 2 practices. Baddog hasn't been to any, so he hasn't seen him in the backfield.
Right, unfortunately not.
Yeah, I would say about, like I said, maybe I would say about 2 or 3 times on average of practice. But that's probably out of maybe 20 opportunities, 25 opportunities, because the first team isn't always out there, second team, third team. So he's there. Don't expect him to be a guy that gets more than a carry or 2 a game, but they're gonna use him. I one rep that I saw, they actually had Tony at quarterback, and they had Saquon to his left, and they had Wandale to his right, like in a wishbone almost looking type offense, without the quarterback involved. So, well, I guess Tony's the quarterback, but that was a cool formation. I did see that on one play, and I think Tony, like, it was basically an RPO where you're more than often not, when he's the quarterback, not going to throw, even though he's capable of doing it. But that was a fun formation that I saw. Yeah,
I think I don't know how much, but like you said, I don't know how much you'll see him in the backfield. Again, I think you'll see a lot of pre-snap motion. He may start in the backfield and go out into the slot. You could see that type of thing. I don't know how much he'll actually line up in the backfield and take snaps, but it'll be interesting to see what Kafka and Dable do. Obviously, again, we're not going with relic 1990s formations. We're not going to run quarterback sneaks back-to-back plays inside our own 5. Let's hope that doesn't happen. As far as like a real expectation for yards and touchdowns, maybe 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. Again, I don't think he's going to get. Yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm just guessing. I mean, I think
he could
most.
have 1,000 yards. I don't know.
I hope he does.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not predicting that, but he's a rookie, and I have to see. Listen, even if he doesn't get a lot of yards, I just think his presence on the field is going to help the offense because he's such a versatile player. He's a guy that's going to draw attention. I think he's going to kind of be like a hybrid, though, in a sense. Like I think his role is going to be at least partially like Cole Beasley was with the Bills, that underneath receiver, but he could do more things. He's more athletic. He's more shifty. But I could see him being that quick underneath threat, kind of like Cole Beasley, but with the ability to do other things. I think he's a guy that can hit you deep from time to time. He's gonna be a very interesting piece on this team.
Yeah, I think he'll be. They might use him like and I hate to mention this because he was a big time bust. But Tavon Austin, you don't have the speed of Tavon Austin, but Tavon Austin was a guy that did everything. You know, I don't think you'll see Wandale return punts or kicks, but it may not be out of the question. I know he and Kadarius Toney were fielding some punts on the sideline. I'm not saying that was what was going to happen, but you never know. He may be forced into doing that or something. But it will be interesting to see what they do with him and how they utilize him. And I'm excited. He's had a good camp, which is good that he seems like he's picking it up pretty quickly. And that's why I'm excited to see what we do against a real NFL defense, even if it is just a vanilla base 4-3 or 3-4, whatever the hell they're running. Dominic, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. You guys checked out Prey yet? I recommend it. I have not. I don't watch TV. I watch.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. It's on Hulu. I watched part of it. The night it came out, I watched like 40 minutes of it and I fell asleep. It has nothing to do with the movie. The movie looked pretty good so far, and it's been getting great reviews. You've seen the original Predator, Baddog?
Yes.
So it's that. It's the
third.
Gotcha. It's the third Predator.
Gotcha.
But it's good. It's getting good reviews. I checked it out. I'm not gonna watch it tonight because we always talk for at least an hour after the show.
Yes,
and then
we do.
But I'll probably watch it. Tomorrow. I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow. But so far, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah. Patrick, thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Being the running back is not valued or not as valued. What are the numbers Shane has to see to consider a re-signing? I don't think they do re-sign him, regardless.
Being the running back is not as valued. What are the numbers?
It's kind of my
not Barkley, I'm assuming.
Yeah, right? I'm thinking they don't.
I can see a franchise tag.
Right.
His running backs, I think, they're like $11 or $12 million on the franchise tag for 1 year, somewhere around there, which is not much more than he's making this year. And if he has a really good year, I could see that. But I agree. I don't think they'll give him it's possible. Like, would I be shocked? No, but I don't expect it. I don't think they're going to commit 3 or 4 years to Barkley, being that they didn't draft him, the injury history. I could definitely see a franchise tag though if he has a really good year.
Yeah. It's hard to give, especially when you're trying to rebuild and you don't have a lot of caps. They'll have a lot more next year, and we'll see what they do. They may make some cuts to get more. Leonard Williams, they could restructure his contract, or they might just outright cut him. It would save a lot of money off the cap space, depending on what Leonard Williams does. But I feel like they'll restructure some contracts. They'll cut some guys. They'll make some moves. And if Barkley's good enough, maybe they'll do that to help. But it would be difficult, I think, for them to commit all that money to Saquon Barkley just because he's had some injury issues, just because he's had one really good year in a contract year. I don't know if I would commit a lot of money to him. And again, they didn't draft him. And I think that goes a long way. It's not their guy. So maybe they have a guy in mind. Maybe there's somebody they like to pick up as a free agent. Maybe they don't use the running back as much in their system, and they'd rather have a lot of shifty wide receivers and use like bubble screens as an extension of the running game.
I wouldn't be shocked, Baddog. I'm thinking about it, and I see what Authentic says. He says, look what the Bills did with McCoy. They let him walk, and it's a good point. I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants aren't doing well this year, which we all hope they're not. We hope they're doing great.
Right.
If they're not doing well this year at the trade deadline, and Barkley is playing vintage Barkley, I could see him being traded. I do think there would be some value for him. There has to be. If he looks like 2018 Barkley, if the Giants are completely out of it and they feel like at the end of the year, like Authentic says, they're going to let him walk, the question you have to ask yourself, though, Baddog, is what are you getting for him in a trade? Because if it doesn't equate to what you may get if you let him walk, you get the compensation pick, if he's going to have a high market. So it'll come down to that. I think you have to at least get a decent price to trade him, like at least a third-round pick.
Yeah.
I would think. But if there's a market there for him, I could definitely see him being traded, especially if they don't plan to keep him.
Yeah. Mike, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. He says, Chris, I hear our punter is decent. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, he looked pretty good from what I saw. I saw the special teams. You got a better look at FanFest as opposed to the training camp. He looked pretty good. He can't be much worse than the guy we had, right? So
No.
with
God,
Riley
no.
Dixon, but I'm a little bit surprised though, to be honest with you, Mike, that the Giants have not brought in some competition at the punter spot. Jimmy Gillen, I think that's who I was, but he's not like this incredible punter. I thought they'd bring it, and they still might. You know, maybe they pick somebody up later in the process that gets cut off another roster. But I'm a little bit surprised they didn't bring in somebody to compete with him. But yeah, from what I've seen, he's looked decent.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in practice. They don't. I wish they practiced up here. And I jokingly say it all the time. They left Albany in 2012, and they've sucked ever since. So, Giants organization, SUNY Albany, hello, get them up here for 2 weeks. They don't need to be up here all off season. Coughlin used to bring them up here for 2 weeks to get them the hell out of the city. 2 weeks. Yeah. So we're asking 2 weeks. Bring them up here. They get away from everything. There's stuff for them to do in Albany. There's plenty of gentlemen's clubs. And I know that the Giants used to frequent the gentlemen's clubs because I used to too. And I would see them there. So I know. But yeah, bring them back up to Albany for a couple weeks. That'd be nice. And then I could watch some damn practice. Irish, thank you, my man. Appreciate you. He says, does DJ play 17 games regardless of record? I don't. I mean, if he's healthy.
Well, let's take that because that's the only way you'd have an opportunity to play 17
right.
games. So we'll say he stays healthy. He stays healthy.
I'll be honest. If they're really bad, I'm going to say no. If he's really struggling, and the Giants are 2-12 at the end of the year, let's hope to God that's not the case. But if they're 2-12 or 3-11 after 14 games, and there's 3 games left in the season, they probably would just shut them down and say, Tyrod, take it over. That's just my guess. I don't know that, but at that point,
I think what I'll say, Baddog, is once they get their answer, because that's what this year's about.
Yeah,
for the coaching staff, I think, is finding out whether or not they think they could push forward with Daniel Jones at the end of the year. I think that's. I'm not saying that's the only question. They have others, but that's their biggest question this year is whether or not he could they could get a lot out of him, which I'm assuming they think they can with the scheme that they're going to run and implement and everything else. I think they're going to give Daniel Jones a real opportunity. I don't think it's going to be 4 games.
No,
I don't think it's going to be 8 games. I think he's going to get a real opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Could he, like you said, be benched, week 14 with 4 games left if the team is like, 3 wins, they have like 3 wins and 11 losses, and they got 3 games left, and they already have their answer. They know that they're not pushing forward. Yeah.
That's the only way he doesn't.
Yeah.
If they're at any point, if they're 6-7 or whatever, he's there. No matter how bad he's playing. If they're, he'd have to be. The Giants have to be completely out of it. Where to the point, so if they're 3-11, say they're 3-11 after 14 games. They know Daniel Jones ain't coming back. So they might just say, to hell with this. Tyrod Taylor go in there and let's tank and draft our quarterback. Let's finish the year 3-14 and get a top 5 pick and get our quarterback. That's the only way I think Daniel Jones doesn't play 17 games. I think if the Giants are competitive, I think he's playing the entire time. I think if the Giants have a shot at the playoffs, I think he's in there the entire time, regardless of how good or bad he is. But I do think if they're
Oh, sorry, Beto.
No, I was just going to say, I do think if they're really out of it, they're really bad, and they have a chance at a top 5 pick, they might just say, you sit on the bench, and Tyrod, you take it over.
Yeah. The only way, and I think this is a major reason why they signed Tyrod Taylor, personally. One, obviously, Jones' injury history, so that's the primary reason. But the other reason, at least in my opinion, my line of thinking, why they brought in one of the better backup quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't know all the backup quarterbacks, but I'd imagine he's one of the top 6, 7. Like he's a very good backup. I think another major reason why they brought in Tyrod Taylor is if Jones is playing so bad, which I don't expect. I don't think he's going to be so bad. But if he is playing so bad, they need other players on this team to develop. They have Kadarius Toney. They have Wan'Dale Robinson. They need these guys to get they need these guys to grow as players. So I think that's a major reason why they brought him in. So a lot of people say, well, if Jones is playing horrible, week 15, just leave him, let's keep tanking. Or if Jones goes down, who cares who the backup quarterback is? No, I think it's important. Like if Jones goes down week 8 or week 9, you need Wan'Dale Robinson. You need Kadarius Toney to get valuable reps. If you have a quarterback back there like Mike Glennon or Jake Fromm,
they got no chance.
they're not going to get any growth. And I understand the draft pick, all well and good. I don't think Tyrod Taylor is going to win us that many games, but I think he's good enough to help these guys grow as football players. So I think that's a major reason as well, outside of just the injury. They wanted a good enough backup to come in here with the young players they have in this offense for them to grow as football players.
I don't think Tyrod Taylor will be good for Daniel Jones. I think he'll help Daniel Jones grow as well. Obviously, Mike Glennon was a loser his entire career. Was a guy 6-25 as a starter? Something ridiculous. Jake Fromm don't even belong in the NFL. So obviously, that was a really bad decision. I mean, Colt McCoy was not great, but God, he's better than Glennon. And, even Gettleman screwed that up. So, yeah, I think Daniel Jones plays all year unless we're really out of it. And at that point, like I said, you're figuring, let's just get our quarterback, get Tyrod Taylor some reps, because Tyrod Taylor is probably going to start the next season, and the rookie quarterback would be on the bench learning. And then when they're ready to move him in there, they would. That's
for me to see Jones getting benched, say before like week 13 or 14, if he's healthy, he has to be really bad. And I don't think he's going to be really bad. He might be really bad at the beginning, the first couple of weeks, because I do think Evan Neal is going to struggle at the beginning of the year. I do think it's going to take some time for them to pick up this offense. But they're not going to just bench him after 2 or 3 weeks. They're going to realize this is a brand new. I know fans were going to be all over him, and rightfully so. The guy struggles. But do I think that's going to be the mindset of Dable? No. I think Dable is going to be like, no, we're going to give this guy a real opportunity. Yeah. We're going to give him 5-6 weeks to really grasp this offense and then see what he can do. That's just my take on it. That's my opinion. That's almost regardless of record. I think he's getting at least 9 or 10 games if he doesn't get. That's at a bare minimum if he doesn't get hurt. They're going to give this guy a real opportunity to see if he could grow.
I agree. Jim, thank you. He says he loves the hat. I wish I knew who sent this to me, because he didn't have a return address. It just said, I don't know if it was Fanatics, but somebody sent me this and a Giants shirt. And I don't know who it was, but I love the hat. I think the hat was awesome. Like, wow, this is kick ass. Whoever sent this to me, and I'm like, it's beautiful because it's one of the ones with the strap in the back. So it's not one of the 5950s with the high brim. I have a small head, so the 5950 does not look good on me. I think this is a 49. I forgot I think this is a 4940. So I'm like, yeah, this looks really good. Fits my head good. So I don't know what was sent to me, but I'm very appreciative. I think the hat is awesome. I noticed today when I did my video that my hat matched my tank top. I did not plan that, but that was pretty kick-ass too. So, and
I see Nikki asked this. This is something we should have discussed.
Actually, I just saw that. I just saw that.
Yeah, it's not just him. Gono as well, who was supposed to be the swing.
Yeah,
guy.
he
unexpectedly retired, I think. Yeah, and now I think it was injury related. And now McKeithen is down, I think, for the year. I think it was a torn ACL, or I think. Yeah. So, yeah, he wasn't going to start, but it's bad. I mean, it was a younger player that you wanted to grow and potentially have an opportunity to start next year, or get an opportunity at some point from within this year if they're really struggling. So now, the Giants, I think they're going to be scrambling the waiver wire. Not like last year, though. I want to say that so people don't go crazy. Last year, we were scrambling for starters. We were scrambling for
Billy Price.
Billy Price, Ben Bredesen. We scrambled for like 3 starters at the beginning of the year. That's not the case here. But we will be scrambling to fill in some depth on the offensive line. There's no doubt about it. We already signed the tackle, but I don't even know if he's going to make this team. And you may get better options as all the camps around the NFL continue to progress. People get cut. But yeah, I expect the Giants to make some moves on the interior as well as potentially bringing in another tackle.
Yeah, it does suck. I mean, because we're already kind of thin on the offensive line. So you never want to see injuries to an offensive lineman, especially a rookie, because they need the experience. Even if he wasn't going to play a lot, you still want him to get reps in practice. You still want him to get reps in a game if they do need to call on him so that he can get acclimated again to the NFL reps, NFL speed, NFL strength, all that stuff. So it sucks. You hate to see that. You hate to see it for anybody, but especially a rookie, because all the reps mean so much to those guys, trying to get the NFL legs on them, getting acclimated to the NFL game. It's so much different than college, because the best college teams have 6, 7 NFL players on them. Well, every NFL team has 52 NFL players on them, or 53, or whatever the hell they carry these days. It was 55. It was 52. I think it's 52 now. I'm not really sure how many they carry, because it seems like it changes every year.
Yeah.
But it's in the 50s. It's between 50 and 55, whatever the hell it is. So you got 52 NFL players on an NFL team. Well, maybe not with the Giants. I think last year we might have had 26.
I see
actually.
DJB, by the way. He said I get it. He's a fan. I understand. I'm not making an excuse for Daniel Jones this year. When I was talking about I was talking about from the perspective of the head coach, not me. I think Dable is going to view it that way. I think he's going to give more than 4 or 5 weeks. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not making excuses for Daniel Jones this year. It's year 4. As far as I'm concerned, I think Daniel Jones is pretty fortunate to be given this opportunity, and I hope he takes it and he runs with it.
Yep.
Daniel Jones fell into the perfect scenario in which there was not a quarterback worthy of drafting where they were picking, and they had no cap space to potentially sign one. So I am hoping and praying he takes a big leap this year, but this is it for Daniel Jones. If he does not, he will not be the quarterback going forward. He needs to, I'm not saying he's got to be Pat Mahomes, but he's got to improve a lot at the quarterback position. I'm not making excuses for Daniel Jones.
Right.
I was talking from the perspective of the head coach. I do think Brian Dable is going to give more than 4 or 5 weeks. I do think Brian Dable thinks there is going to be growing pains with an offense that none of these guys have played in before. But Daniel Jones has to have a good year. The Giants, I said it. I think we got to win 9 games for Daniel Jones to keep his job, which is a lot.
It is a lot for this team.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we've won the last 2 combined. No, we won 10 games the last 2 years combined, but still, 9's a lot for this team. We haven't won 9 games since 2017, 2016. So it's been a lot. We haven't won more than 6 games in the last 5 years. So that is not going to be easy. Yeah. DL says, have you guys noticed, specifically when Zimenez is beating you on the outside, Jones continues to stand there flat-footed and not move up in the pocket?
There's times, Dilly, I'll say yes. I got to see it in a game setting before I start to worry about it. I'm not saying, listen, his pocket awareness would be bad. But I got to see it in a game setting. For all we know, they're trying to let plays develop. It's practice. Let's see it in a game setting. But yes, I have noticed it.
Yeah, well, that's been my issue with them the entire. Again, I don't know what the deal is of practice. They have set plays. I don't know what Dable is calling in the practice, but I do know that, again, that has been my major. That has been the biggest contention I've had with Daniel Jones is just pocket awareness and pocket presence. He has not improved on it since year 1. So I don't know what else to say at this point. It's always been my big problem with him is I feel like he doesn't process fast enough. I feel like he's a second slow, and a second is everything in the NFL. Physically, I think the guys, which is why it's even more aggravating, because physically I think he has the gifts to do it. When I was talking the other day with Fisk, I said, if you could put Jalen Hurts' instincts with Daniel Jones' talent physically, you'd have a damn good quarterback. Hurts has good instincts. He has no mechanics. He is not a good passer.
I agree with that.
I don't give a damn what Eagles fans say or how much they want to say or how much LB, and I love LB, but how much LB wants to sell them Hurts season hats. He's not a good quarterback. He's a good leader. He works hard. He's a good kid. He can run. And he's got good instincts. But as far as a quarterback goes and as far as passing goes, he is the passing with Daniel Jones' instincts and vice versa. Put them together, they're a top 10 quarterback. But again, half his instincts and half his physical. If you can't put them together, because Brady's got no physical gifts. Peyton Manning might have been the most unathletic quarterback in history.
What I will say though about Brady, and I agree with you, obviously, there's a reason he went as late as he did.
Smart.
And he's smart. I do think his arm, the more I watched him as a quarterback, was stronger than people gave it credit.
Oh, his arm was amazing.
I'm not saying it was Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes in terms of arm strength, but he had a pretty strong arm.
He worked at it a lot too.
Yeah,
he works hard. He outworks everybody. Brady works hard.
Yeah.
You don't get to be this. That's why he's probably my favorite non-Giant, because number one, he's my age, which I always respect that. But the guy, I always love the guy. That's why I love Jeter. That's why I love Jordan. That's why I love Jerry Rice. Not only are these guys the best at what they do, they're the hardest working guys at what they do. That's why those guys played into their 40s, every one of them. And every one of them may not have been at the top of their game at the end of their career. Brady still is, but they were still productive. All of them are still productive.
Brady has that Jordan work ethic.
That's what I'm saying. They all do.
You got to tip your cap, man. Now, Jordan's a combination for me of both. He is an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
and he had the work ethic.
Yeah.
But
And he hated to lose.
Brady plays a position that doesn't necessarily require elite athleticism.
Right.
But he has that Jordan-esque quality. There's no denying it. The guy is sitting in special teams meetings when he's 43 years old. When he's a quarterback, the guy is taking pay cuts to get the team to be as good as it possibly can be for the betterment of the team. And not a lot of quarterbacks do that. So you got to tip your cap, man. His work ethic was better than any quarterback that's ever played the sport.
Duncan, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I was shocked when Philly said Washington would beat the Eagles. Truthfully, what is your guys' opinion? I think you're split.
Let me see.
I don't think you're sweep. I don't think either one of you sweeping. I think you're split.
I don't know when they play them in the season, but
week 3 and then they play week 10.
I could definitely see a split. I could see us splitting with the Eagles too.
I think so.
Yeah, I could definitely see a split with Washington. Washington's a tricky team for me because they had so many injuries last year, and a lot of people kind of propped them up and thought they could take a big leap. And Chase Young so far has been very underwhelming as a pro really since his rookie year, but injuries obviously play a major factor. We'll see. Carson Wentz going to have a lot to do with it, but I certainly think that, I definitely could see a split.
Fly Park says Hurts is better than DJ. No, he's not.
I can't say no right now in the sense that he made the playoffs and he won games, but what I'll say is I would
put Hurts on the Giants and see how he does.
I would not want Hurts as my quarterback because I don't, and maybe I'll be wrong. I hope I'm not because he's an Eagle. I don't see Hurts. I think Hurts got exposed in the playoffs when he played the Bucs. When he was forced to throw, look what he did.
Yeah, nothing.
When he was forced to throw against the New York Giants, the game I was at, look what he did.
Nothing.
When you're able to, and a big reason, and his legs are great, and a big reason why I think the Eagles' offense was as successful as it was is because of their ground game. That was what it revolved around, and his threat to run. But when you can limit that and you get him in the third and long situations, I am not a big fan of Jalen Hurts. And I would not want him as my quarterback.
And the other thing is saying he's better than Daniel Jones. Really, what are you comparing him to?
Yeah.
It's not really saying much.
Yeah.
That was always my thing with Eagle fans. Like, Hurts is better than Daniel Jones. I'm like, so what? If he is, he is. If he isn't, he isn't. Is that really the hill you're going to die on? Is that really bragging about how good your guy is and he's better than Daniel Jones? Tell me he's better than Dak Prescott. Tell me he's better than Derek Carr.
Giants fans arguing whether or not Tyrod Taylor should be our starting quarterback over Daniel Jones.
Right.
So it's not saying much. Exactly. Daniel Jones has a lot more to prove.
Yeah, exactly. Raviel, thank you. Appreciate you, man. How did the Yanks stop this losing streak? I'll tell you. They need Garrett Cole to be an ace and go out and throw 7 shutout innings. And they need the bullpen to close it down. That's how they started. Momentum goes as far as the starting day, the starting pitcher the next day. Next day's starting pitcher, easy for me to say. Frankie Montas had a 4-1 lead, gave it right back. The Yankee bullpen been horrible down the stretch. Clay Holmes has blown a number of games, blew a game 1 against St. Louis. So that's how you do it. They get back to playing the way they did at the beginning of the year. Sacrifice flies, fundamental baseball, get them on, get them over, get them in, good pitching. Pitching's been terrible the last month. 24th in the league in ERA. So that's why they're losing. And their bullpen's been shoddy at best.
Yeah.
That's how
that's been your bread and butter all year.
It has been.
You obviously watch the Yankees a lot more than I do, but I said it. Yankee fans hated me for it in my Discord and when I talk baseball with them. But I said, I think you're going to have to make some acquisitions at the deadline. I do think you have holes in your roster. I don't think this pitching is going to be able to continue at the pace it's been doing. And they definitely still have very good pitching, especially after the acquisition they made at the deadline. But that's been your bread and butter all year. Of course, your lineup is lethal. You guys have scored a ton of runs, but the pitching is what got you to the start that you had.
Yep.
And 100%. You guys need your starting pitching to get it back in gear. And I think Clay Holmes has blown a couple of games too, right? Recently.
Yeah, Clay Holmes is starting to crack under the pressure. I
that. They gotta
losing Michael King really hurt.
Yeah,
it's just that hurt. He was a shutdown 7th, 8th inning guy, and he fractured his elbow and he's out for the year. That hurt. And now Severino's out. And Chapman's just coming back. Loiza's been off the entire year. So our bullpen, all of a sudden, which is our strength, is now like Trevino wasn't good today. F. Frost gave up a freaking home run.
What's his name? Your former closer.
Chapman.
He's been beyond disappointing.
He's getting better. Like he's pitched better, but I still wouldn't trust him. I don't.
Yeah.
don't trust him at all. Chris, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Did you guys see the Colin Cowherd show about A-Rod's? I can't even say that word.
I have no idea.
Alaska journey. Pat
No.
McAfee responsibility. I don't know what that is. No, I don't watch Colin Cowherd. I don't think I've ever listened or watched Colin Cowherd. So
Yeah, I don't. I have
it.
not live though, but I've seen clips. But no, I didn't. I have not seen that, Chris. I've not seen that. Sorry. I wish I could tell you I did. I have not.
I've seen Tiger Natras a few times. I have no thoughts on him starting slow. He's a rookie right tackle.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have a thought on it. He's got to get better. Andrew Thomas struggled out of the gate too, and Andrew Thomas ended up just fine. So I'm not too concerned about him. People say it's just practice, and it is just practice, like with Daniel Jones. But Daniel Jones has been in the league 4 years. If Evan Neal had been in the league 4 years and he's struggling or off to a slow start, then I would be concerned. But he's a rookie, and I got to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I'm not concerned about it.
Yeah, I think us as Giants fans should have learned a lesson with Andrew Thomas the first time around. There may be growing pains. Right. Tackle's a tough position to transition to into the NFL. It's probably the third toughest. I would say quarterback, and then corner, and then probably tackle. It takes time. Not everybody's Rashawn Slater. Not everybody's going to snap their fingers and be perfect. And he's been great since he entered the league with the Chargers. He was very technically skilled. He had experience playing on both sides of the line, even though Neal hasn't played on the right side in a long time. And it's practice. He's working on things. So even if Neal struggles the first 4 or 5 weeks, if he gives up a decent amount of sacks, no, I'm not panicking. I think he's going to be really good. I think he was one of the premier tackle prospects in this draft. And I think he's going to be at least an above average tackle for a long time for the Giants, which is a lot better than what we've had.
There's no doubt. But guys, we're going to get out of here. Went a little overtime. And I always appreciate all you guys and girls being here, hanging out with us tonight. Preseason Thursday. Can't wait. You guys got to come hang out with us on Thursday night for sure. Somebody asked how much I weigh. I weigh between 165 and 167 pounds on any given day. That's kind of, so I say I weigh 166. But we appreciate you hanging out. It was a great night, Sunday night. Giants football is here, baby. It is here. So I can't wait. I know Chris can't wait. I know all you guys and girls can't wait. I'm anxious to see what we do, even if it is just a preseason game. I'm looking forward to seeing our guys go against an opposing team. And let's hope that they look good. I don't care about the final score. I want the first string guys to look good. That's what I'm looking for. I want the first string guys to win.
Yeah.
Final score is
after that, though. I think you're still intrigued by like the back end roster guys who's competing for spot. The second, I'll say the second team, the third team is. But I'm definitely gonna be looking at like the Darius Slaytons, the wide receiver battle, the tight ends. It's always fun to look at some of the positional groups from within the game as well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So,
but before we go, I just want to say thank you to all you guys. I wasn't even nervous when that video was dropped today because I know you guys are incredible supporters of me, and I'm not even gonna listen to it. I don't know if Baddog's listened to it. If he has, I'll talk to him after the stream. But I'm not even gonna listen to it. It doesn't faze me. I think it's nonsense. But regardless, I appreciate all you guys for all the support you show me on YouTube. You guys drive me to want to continue to make content and doing what we love to do. That's talk sports. So, and just having fun, building a community around the things that we love: the Giants, the Knicks, the Mets, Yankees for Baddog.
Right.
But thank you guys so much, man, for all the support you guys always show. And yeah, Baddog, had a blast, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good time. Again, if you haven't done so, hit the like. We got to almost 550. So if you want to hit that, haven't hit it, we get to 600. That'd be awesome. If you want to hit the subscribe, ring the bell, that'd be great too, because it's free. But more importantly, like I said, make sure you go in the description. It's the first link there. It's the Entertainment Talkin Sports. Make sure you subscribe to him too and hang out with us the entire season, good, bad, or indifferent, for the New York Giants. And case of the Mondays tomorrow, black. But we do appreciate you guys and girls hanging out with us tonight and every time that you do. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for your continued support of both of the channels. It does mean the world to us. We're very grateful for you guys and girls. We really mean that. So thank you. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. And let's kick some asses here. That'll be nice.
Let's
for
go.
the Entertainment Talkin Sports.